B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natzliach, Shiur Torah. Good to be back in Aventura, Baruch Hashem, in Florida. We had a nice shiur on Sunday. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did too. We have a special guest from Canada, Baruch Hashem. Welcome. It's wonderful to always see familiar faces, but always new faces. I get sick of you guys once in a while, just to tell you the truth. But Baruch Hashem, we went over Hanukkah. I think that hopefully everybody knows what they're doing with the Chanukiah. There's not really that many halachot. There are a few, but that you need to know. Also for this shiur will be refuah shlema for Shaul ben Avner, I believe. And also Levana bat Sarah, David ben Esriya, Doris bat Jora, Elisheva Chaya bat Sarah, Betzalel ben Avraham, and all of Am Yisrael Be'ezrat Hashem will have refuah shlema, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf. Now, we're not going to go over all of the halachot for Hanukkah, but there's one particular thing that I saw Rav Gidon ben Moshe actually do a shiur in a kollel about. It's a 2-minute clip, 3-minute clip, whatever it was, which means that if he's doing this shiur in a kollel for something that's technically supposed to be pashut, supposed to be very simple, common knowledge, it means that this is a very common mistake that people make. I know that I made this mistake myself for most of my life. Partly because I didn't learn, the other reason because I didn't care enough to learn. And Baruch Hashem, part of tshuva is to change all of those horrible midot that we have that make excuses for all of the things that we don't feel like doing. So the simple halacha is, when do you light Hanukkah candles? Now most people, they say it's at night, just you light at night. That's partially right. Partially right, it's not 100% right. What's 100% right? You have to light the candles as soon as the stars are out. Now everyone has, I'm assuming, a smartphone, and you can download this application called CalJ or MyZmanim, and I'll tell you exactly after you put your zip code, CalJ, C-A-L-J, or you go to myzmanim.com, it's the same company I believe, and you put your zip code, and it'll tell you exactly when there is a time called Tzeta Kochavim. When is the time where the stars are out? Because it's not dusk, which is really, we don't know whether it's night or it's still day. If you light your candles there, you may have a serious problem. You may have a serious problem unless your candles continue being lit beyond the Tzeta Kochavim. But either way, it's not. You're not supposed to do it that way. Now, what about if you decide, okay, you know what, I'm busy, I'm going to have to go to a few parties, I got to do a few things. By the time I get home, I'll do it, at midnight. I got home at midnight, I'll do it. That's a problem. Why is that a problem? Because no one is outside at midnight. And you're supposed to light the candles and put the candles at a place, in a window, where other people, that is, if they were walking outside, they would see your menorah. Now, if you're putting your menorah outside at midnight, unless you're in New York City, no one's going to see your menorah, which means that you have not fulfilled the mitzvah. You've not fulfilled the mitzvah like it's supposed to be. Now, the Chachamim say that you still fulfilled the mitzvah, but it's not the ideal. Now, any time that we have a easy mitzvah that you can do right, we have to do it right. Some mitzvot are very hard to do right, because you have to learn a lot. But there are some mitzvot that are very easy to do right. Very easy to do right. All you got to do is a little bit of effort, and you'll do it right. When we miss out on those easy mitzvot, it's like missing out on a lotto ticket where you already know what the numbers are. Somebody already gave you the numbers. He's like, yeah, I don't really feel like going to the shop to buy the ticket. Oh, okay, so you should just go admit yourself to a mental institution, and instead of the shop to buy a ticket, you have the winning numbers. That's an easy mitzvah. So the easy mitzvah is actually the mitzvah of lighting the candles. You're supposed to light them at Tzeta Kochavim, at the time where the stars are out, which is right after dusk. And again, like I said, today, for example, where I live, it was 5:58, 5:59 in the evening, and you had to light the candles at that time. Yesterday, I think it was like half a minute earlier or something like that. Point is that that's when you're supposed to light it, because if you light the candles too early, it's no good. If you light the candles too late, it's also not so good. Now, what happens if you light the candles by the time you get home from work? It's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you want to light the candles? Yes, of course, light the candles. But it's not ideal. Meaning that if you had a choice to light the candles before, but you chose not to because, yeah, you know what, I don't feel like doing it. I'll do it later. I'll do it later, after I have dinner, after I do this, after I do that. Then you have yourself a serious problem. Now, what about once it gets to dusk, once it gets to the time where it's right after mincha, and you're supposed to light the candles, and you want to say, you know what, let me learn a little bit for another, let me learn for a half hour, and then I'll light. You're not allowed to learn. You're not allowed to learn Torah until you light the candles. What if you're hungry? You're really hungry. You haven't eaten anything all day. You haven't eaten anything all day. You want to have a nice seudah, a hero sandwich, the bigger than your head. You want to have one. Not allowed to eat. Why? Because if you get too focused on something else, including Torah, you may forget to light the candles at an ideal time. So it's very, very important that a person light the candles at the ideal time because it's an easy mitzvah, it's an easy lotto ticket. Like I said, if you just don't get home until 8 o'clock from work and it's just not possible for you to light it at that time, it's a different story. Still light it. But if you have the ability to light it, if you work out of the house or you're already home at that time or something like that, light it as soon as the stars are out. And you don't have to go outside to look for stars because sometimes it's cloudy. All you got to do is use one of these wonderful applications that Hashem provided us in this generation that tell you exactly when the stars are out. I remember when I was a kid, to know how Shabbat came out, we didn't have iPhones, smartphones. So how do we know? We went outside. Went outside and looked for stars. Actually, our minhag was 7 stars. Our minhag is 7 stars. The reason why the minhag was 7 stars, even though he's right, he says there's 3 stars, is because we don't know. It's supposed to be 3 middle-sized stars. It's supposed to be 3 middle-sized stars, but we don't know what's a middle-sized star. To us, all the stars almost look the same. So our minhag was 7 stars. Look for 7 stars. Hopefully within the 7 there's 3 middle-sized stars. But the point is that it's very, very important to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, because sometimes a person thinks that he's doing a mitzvah, he gets to Shammai and say, oh yeah, you have 3,000 years in Gehinom. What? What are you talking about? I learned Torah my whole life. Yeah, you learned Torah, but you didn't keep 90% of it. So the 10% you have Gan Eden after you finish the 3,000 years. So it's very, very important to get these easy mitzvot right. Because they're easy, which means the judgment is much more dear. If it's a hard mitzvah, then Hashem obviously knows this is a hard mitzvah. He'll judge you accordingly. But if it's an easy mitzvah and we still slack, then there's something wrong with us. So you got to get the easy mitzvot out. Also, for anyone that's single, you still have to light the candles. If it's a single woman, you still have to light the candles. If you're a guest at somebody else's house, you can rely on them lighting the candle. Different issues. If you have any specific questions about halachot of Hanukkah, you can text me. I'll give you the answers. But the point is that I wanted to give you the easy mitzvah, and so at least you could do it right. Because I know most of my life, I would light candles somewhere around 9, 10 o'clock at night, because I thought, oh, well, what's the difference? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock. What's the difference? When you don't know what you don't know. So you have to get this mitzvah right. As far as the candles, most of the stuff is available online, but again, if you're confused or anything else, you could always ask. I'm only a text message away. Now, the Mishnah in Avot that we have today is Vav Hei 6:5, chapter 6, Mishnah number 5. But really, it's a continuation of the previous couple of Mishnayot. It's a continuation. There's different, as I explained to you in the past, there are different ways of how the Chachamim separated these Mishnayot. Some have this Mishnah all continuous, which makes it very, very long and very difficult to study, at least in depth, because you have a lot of material. And some broke it down into many pieces. So, but it's still, we're talking about the same Chacham, the same Tana, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, that is giving us all of this information. Now, the last Mishnah in Dalit, in 6:4, he told us about the way of Torah, life of Torah. What's the life of Torah? And he told us that if you want to get to the ultimate level, don't be so concerned about material. Even if you eat bread and salt, you should be happy with that. Even if it's not a hamburger that's $15, bread and salt is still fine. Why? Because you're still alive. There's plenty of people in the world that will give their right arm to have bread and salt every day. Drink water in small measure. Don't be such a person that drinks like a camel, where pretty much all day just focusing, no, I want the Snapple. You know what? The Snapple's not so good. Let me get Coca-Cola. No, you know what? I'm going to have a shot of this. Now everybody becomes like a wine connoisseur on Shabbat. Everybody's a wine connoisseur. Sometimes you go to people's houses on Shabbat and you see the young kids. I'm not talking about the old men that have been around the world and actually know what wine really is. Seeing the young 18, 19, 20-year-old kids take the wine glass and they start shaking it. Start shaking it, and they're looking at the wine like they know what they're doing. They start shaking it, and they take a sip, and then they start gargling because they saw it on TV. They start gargling, it's like, yeah, this is good. Like, you know the difference between good and bad. Yeah, this one sounds expensive. What is this one? What is it, 200, 300? No, it's $7.99, buddy. $7.99. Reality is, when a person is so focused on material, he's losing his olam. He's losing this world. And he could potentially lose olam haba because of it. So a person needs to learn how to make do with little. Because once you know how to be happy with little, when you get a lot, you'll know what to do with it. But if you don't know how to be happy with little, then even a lot is not going to help you. Even if you get a lot of people pray, oh no, Kodara, please, give me a blessing for Parnasah. Give me a blessing of Parnasah. I say, okay, Bezrat Hashem, you do tshuva. No, Kvod Harav, Parnasah tova. Bezrat Hashem, you do tshuva, shlema, chaim arukim, shlemim. No, Kvod Harav, Parnasah, Kvod Harav. I said, Baruch Hashem, you already have 3 cars in the parking lot. How much more Parnasah you need? You need to do tshuva. Why? Because you still want more money. You have 3 cars in the parking lot. What do you need? 5 cars? You can't drive more than 1. Point is, people ask for things that they don't really need. So, a person that wants to live a life of Torah, no one's telling you that you need to be homeless or poor or not enjoy the good things in life. If Hashem gave it to you, no problem, enjoy it. But there's a kosher way of enjoying things. Most importantly, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, Toil in Torah, meaning that regardless of what your situation is, financial situation is, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're old or young, regardless of what the situation is, if you're in pain, you're not in pain, you're new, you're old, you understand what's going on, you don't understand what's going on, it doesn't make a difference. You're still obligated to toil in Torah, meaning you're still obligated to try. But what about if I study for 3 hours and I still don't understand anything? Doesn't make a difference. You get rewarded as if you understood everything. Because the actual understanding aspect of Torah has nothing to do with you. It has to do with whether Hashem determines that you have enough merits for Him to gift you the knowledge. Meaning that you can study for 3 hours and understand nothing. You could study for 3 minutes and understand everything. Why? Hashem decided that 3 hours wasn't enough. You needed to study 3 hours and 3 minutes. And you decided to stop after 3 hours because you've had it. 3 hours, my hair is falling out, my eyes are coming out, I can't think. The next day you study for 3 minutes, all of a sudden, genius. All of a sudden you understand everything that happened yesterday, the day before, the week later you became a prophet. What happened? You needed to study 3 hours and 3 minutes. And that's when Hashem put it into your brain. Now you understand what's going on. So Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi tells us that toiling in Torah, that's the mitzvah. It's not understanding, it's the toiling. It's actually doing it. It's actually learning what you're doing. And if you do this, he says, Ashrecha v'tov lach, Ashrecha ba'olam hazeh, v'tov lach la'olam haba. You're praiseworthy in this world, you're praiseworthy in the next world. Now, this all sounds wonderful, but the Chachamim, how do they implement such a thing? How do they implement such a thing? There was always a story that I never understood. And b'schutchem, in your merit, I understood it as we're speaking. There's a famous story about the Gaon Mivilna, that one day, his Talmid, Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, comes to him on a Friday, and he sees the Gaon Mivilna disheveled. He looks terrible. He's wearing a robe. He's got lemon on his head because he's got a headache. His eyes look like he hasn't slept in years. Forget days, years. His wife is crying. The grandmother's crying. His mother's crying. Everybody's crying. Everybody's upset. And he's just going back and forth. I don't understand. I don't understand. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? I don't understand. He's going back and forth, just mamash, disheveled. So his Talmid said, Kvod Harav, everything okay? No, you, give me the pshat on the Rambam here. Meaning, tell me what the Rambam is saying here. Little Talmid, I'm going to tell the Gaon Mivilna what the Rambam is saying. I'm the Talmid, I'm the Talmid. He goes, I commend you to tell me what this says. What is the Rambam saying here? Chaim Volozhin is Talmid Chacham, but it's chutzpah to say anything in front of your rabbi, unless the rabbi asks. Well, he commanded him. But if the rabbi didn't ask you to say, be quiet. Why? It's not kavod the chachamim. Shmuel the Navi almost got killed because of it. So he looks at this Rambam. It's not such a difficult Rambam. For him, it wasn't difficult. He looked at it for a little while. He says, oh, kvod the rabbi, I believe the pshat here, the simple meaning here, is such and such. And he tells him what the meaning is. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. Okay, honey, food. Now, the Gaon Mivilna would never eat on Friday. So Rabbi Chaim Volozhin says, I knew at that moment that if I didn't answer the question right, he was going to die. His life was on the line. Why? He would never eat on Friday until Kiddush, which means that if he ate at that moment, it was pikuach nefesh. It's pikuach nefesh. Why? He asked his wife, what's been happening? What's going on here? She says he hasn't slept in 3 days. He's been studying straight 3 days, going back and forth, trying to understand what's going on with Rambam. And he couldn't get it. You saved his life. This, Rabotai, is someone that understands the value of Torah, but also the Kiddush is that why was the Gaon Mivilna so concerned? Okay, so you know what? You didn't understand the Rambam. Go to sleep on it, pray. Hashem's going to give you the Kiddush tomorrow. What's the problem? Okay, so you don't understand everything. Well, you have to understand everything? When you understand the value of Torah, the answer is yes. Because he measured it differently than we're measuring it. We're measuring it where most people that learn Torah, between all of us, it's for entertainment purposes only. Really. You come to a shiur, you're entertained. You read a book, it's entertaining. If you're bored, you stop reading. Even if it means life or death, doesn't make a difference. We don't view it as life or death, me knowing halachot Shabbat. You don't look at halachot Shabbat, yeah, wow, yeah, this is really bad. No, it's kind of boring. Okay, let's skip, next book. Give me stories. I want stories. Yeah, but halachot Shabbat means you're eating and live or die. Yeah, the live or die, but I want stories. You have stories with halachot in them? For us, we don't understand really what the mashmaut, what the significance of Torah is. We want stories. We want entertainment. Because we don't really understand that it's life or death. The Gaon Mivilna, alav shalom, he understood that if he doesn't understand, number one, it could mean the difference between life and death. Be'emet. There's a difference between, you heard it in a shiur, mechalel Shabbat, mot yumat. You heard it in a shiur that a mechalel Shabbat dies, but you know a lot of people drive on Shabbat, they don't die. So it's like you heard it and you say, yeah, I agree, it's real, but in practice, I don't really see it happening. So it's like part of you always has like a doubt. Part of you always has like a doubt. Is it real? Is it just like, is it not relevant anymore? Is it the rabbis? Is it his own commentary? Maybe it's just for everybody else except me. I have a special case because Hashem understands it's tough for me. You know, people have all this shtuyot in their head and try to figure out this, yes, no. The difference between us and the Gaon Mivina, aside from the fact that it's Shamayim Va'aretz, heaven and earth, is that he understood to the extent of true knowledge. Meaning, life or death for him, he really understood this is literally life or death. But he felt like it was going to happen now. Like if I get it wrong now, I'm going to die now. Not like, Hashem's going to give me a chance. Why should he give me a chance? You made a mistake. I made a mistake. So, why does he owe me another chance? One time, the Gaon Mivina, by accident, he touched the peel of an egg on Shabbat, which some of the poskim say it's muktzeh. Not all of them say it's muktzeh, especially if it's disgusting to you, and you're allowed to throw it away, with your hand even. Or if it's part of something, if there's food in the same place. There's a lot of different poskim. Don't really judge it as mamash muktzeh, especially if you're eating it right there and then. But he wasn't eating it, and he touched it by accident with his finger. That's it. On the spot, he passed out. On the spot, he passed out. The guests, for the Rav, woke him up. He got up. He saw the egg again, the peel of the egg. He passed out again. He passed out again. Threw some water in his face. They got him up. He passed out again. Until the fourth time he got up, his wife took the egg and made sure that he's watching her. She took the peel of the egg and she ate it. To show him, if I ate it, it's not muktzeh. Because it's still considered food then. That's not muktzeh. He was fine. Now if you think that he's crazy fanatic, you're a crazy fanatic. You simply don't understand what it means to touch muktzeh. You simply don't understand what it means to violate even a rabbinical sin, according to the rabbis. You don't understand. You heard about it. You read about it maybe in a book. He knew. He didn't understand. He knew what it meant. And the possibility that maybe he touched something that could be considered muktzeh and not really allowed, he couldn't deal with it, he passed out. His neshama could not handle such a sin. That some people don't even say it's a sin. So now the Gaon Mivina is in a situation where he doesn't understand the Rambam and he knows that it means life or death. But he also knows that maybe he doesn't have the merit to understand. It's not that I don't understand because I don't have the brain. It has nothing to do with my brain. Maybe I made some type of sin, I didn't do tshuva for it, that now I lost my merit and I'm not going to understand Torah. Such a thing, there's no point to living. This is the difference, guys. This is the difference, Rabotai Karim, of where we are and where he was. And we're not even talking about 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. We're talking about a couple hundred years ago. We're talking about, mamash, a stone throw away, a few generations away. We had such a person on earth. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi is telling us this is the life of Torah. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi is 2,000 years ago. If the Gaon Mivina was this way, imagine Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi 2,000 years ago. So he's telling us these simple things in our simple language that 2,000 years later we still understand, at least to our ability. And he continues with this Mishnah. And he says, Al tevakesh gdula le'atzmecha, ואל תחמוד כבוד יותר מלימודיך עשה, ואל תחמוד כבוד יותר מלימודיך עשה, ואל תתאווה לשולחנם של מלכים, ששולחנך גדול משולחנם, וכתרך גדול מכתרם, ונאמן הוא בעל מלאכתך, שישלם לך שכר פעולתך. Translation: do not seek greatness for yourself. We've all failed. We just started the Mishnah. Do not seek greatness for yourself. Do not crave honor. You already read the first two parts of the sentence. You want to start doing tshuva. Let your performance exceed your learning. Amen. Do not lust for the table of kings, for your table is greater than theirs, and your crown is greater than their crown, and your employer is trustworthy to pay you remuneration for your deeds. Who is not guilty of this? All, partial, or double. But this is what we learn. We have to learn what it all means. Why should we not seek greatness? When is it actually allowed to seek greatness? So first and foremost, the Mishnah starts with something that doesn't sound normal to us. In our generation, it simply doesn't sound normal because today, who is celebrated? The people that are the most arrogant. The most arrogant people on earth are the ones that get the TV show. They get the presidency. They get the position as CEO. They get the attention. The more arrogant you are, the more people run after, which is the opposite of the Torah. Which has gotten to the point where in our generation, people think that it's a good thing to be arrogant. And Torah tells us something that is the opposite of our logic, which is Al tivakesh gdula le'atzmecha. Now, who is this talking about? This is talking about the same person that Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi just started talking to recently, saying this is the way of Torah. Meaning, he's talking to you even if you're a big rabbi. Meaning, you're a big rabbi, you're famous, you have a big keilah, you have hundreds of thousands of followers all over the world. People kiss your hand when they see you. Don't look for greatness for yourself. Now, I was given a position. I didn't ask the people to follow me, they just did. So the first and foremost, Rav Efraim explains here that Gemara Masechet Brachot, page 55, says that as soon as a person gets a very important role, a good role. I'm not talking about being a politician. I'm talking about a role that's actually may get you into Gan Eden. Because we know there's a separate Mador and Gehinom for the politicians. There's no Gan Eden for them. You have to be a liar by default. It's not unfortunately, it's not it's a kosher business. Very, very rare for a politician to be an honest person. Because by default, they have to root for their own team, even if their team is not necessarily the right one for the job. This is also the reason why it's not a good idea to be a lawyer. As a Jew, it's not a good idea to be a lawyer unless you're a business lawyer. Business lawyer is like a safe choice. Why? Because you pretty much choose the trouble you're going to be in. You choose if you want to lie, of whether your client really signed a document or you put copy and paste. And then, you made a copy of it and it looks like he signed it. You tell them, no, we lost the original, but this is the copy. It's a forged signature. You know it, but close the eye. You chose it, though. Most business law is relatively simple. Somebody wants to buy a house, somebody wants to buy a business, somebody wants to sell a business, somebody wants to sell a house, sell it this, sell it that. It's very, very simple. You should be able to have a safe Jewish life as a business lawyer. But if you're a criminal lawyer, by default, you have to defend criminals. And the reality is, many of them are guilty. Many of them are guilty, but you still have to defend them if you want to get paid. Which means that you're going to violate the Torah by lying. You're going to violate the Torah by putting a criminal back on the streets that may kill more people. You're going to put a criminal back on the streets that cheated people. You're going to put a criminal back on the streets with a lesser sentence. He deserves 100,000 years. You got him 2 years with probation. Yeah, but he just stole $50, $100 million from clients. Said there, but 2 years is a good deal. We settled. The point is that these types of lawyers don't understand that all of the kavod that they're getting, all of the honor and money and so on that they're getting in this world is the worst thing in the world. It's pretty much Hashem signing off. I have no interest in you. Why? I'm giving you all whatever you want here. Once you get up there with me, finished. Why? All you did your whole life is free criminals. More people died because of you. More people committed crime because of you. More people cheated. More people lied. More people did bad things. So criminal lawyer is a suicide. It's a suicide job for a Jew. In reality, even a non-Jew shouldn't do it, but somebody has to do it. Which means that if you really want to go and become a criminal lawyer, you have to be like Moshe Rabbeinu. You have to, like, literally, as soon as you see something is not 100% true, you're running away with the money, with potential lawsuits against you, with everything. Why? Because if you leave the case in the middle, he could potentially lose because of you. He may sue you. Who wants such a life? Just go become a business lawyer, sell some buildings, some stuff, and you're finished. But some people want to be the criminal lawyer because they saw it on television. They saw it on television and it sounds exciting. The glove doesn't fit. In the end, he really did murder them, though. He just got away with it. Unfortunately, it was a Jewish lawyer that got him out of it. The Jewish lawyer got O.J. Simpson? Johnny Cochran, and also the other guy. What's his name? Shapiro. Shapiro's a Jewish guy. Yeah. Two of them died. And so, well, his son also died during his life. Point is, Rabotai, is that it's a very, very dumb position for a Jew to do. Very dumb thing for a Jew to do is to defend a guilty person. And in criminal law, it's impossible not to do it. And the reason why is because sometimes you don't know because your client lies to you also. It's not like the criminal comes and all of a sudden he's doing tshuva at the lawyer's office. Oh, I'm sorry, I really killed 3 of them, but don't tell anybody. Defend me, get me out of it, please. No, he's not telling you, he's lying to you also. So you can't get yourself out of this mess. It's just a bad idea. It's a really, really bad idea. But why do Jews want to be lawyers? Why do Jews want to be doctors? Why do Jews want to be these professionals? Because they grew up in a house where Torah wasn't appreciated, because people would ask their parents, no, so what does your son do? Oh, my son's a doctor. Oh, Baruch Hashem, wow, so now you're allowed to be sick. Son's a doctor, now you're allowed to be sick. Oh, my son's a lawyer. Oh, Baruch Hashem, now people can sue you. You're a free lawyer. Baruch Hashem. That's what people say. Oh, I have a lawyer. I have a son as a lawyer. I have a son as a doctor. I'm allowed to get sick. I'm allowed to get sued. Perfectly fine. No, it's good. What about Olam Haba? Oh, no. We're hoping that the grandson's going to be a rabbi. Get us to Olam Haba. Why? Because the lawyer and the doctor are not getting you to Olam Haba. At least not a good place. But this is the houses that we grew up in. The houses that we grew up in, simply people did not know, and to this day, unfortunately, people do not know the value of Torah. So they want their kids to grow up and be businessmen.
What about immigration lawyer?
If he's a legitimate immigration lawyer, yes, but...
He knows I got married fictively and he's still...
Oh, so he's a professional liar. Yeah, well, there's a place for him in Gehinnom also.
Why, if I want to be a rabbi of a keilah in America and he gives me green card so I can stay here for 2 years?
You have to go to a posek for specific questions like that, but midvar sheker tirchak. In a thing of lies you're supposed to stay away from, run away from. The point is, Rabotai, is that you have to choose your profession wisely, but even more importantly, you have to stop, guys. Please, this is not a kindergarten, because you're just enabling him, you're enabling her. It's back and forth, and it's disturbing me. So if you continue, I'm going to throw both of you out. Whatever it is, please stop with the back and forth. It's not kindergarten. I'm a grown-up. Please be grown-ups. Don't interfere. It's very tough to concentrate and look at you at the same time. So a person needs to choose their job wisely. a person also needs to tell their kids to choose their job wisely. If they don't, they can choose the worst career in the world, where even if they wanted to be a kosher Jew, it becomes very difficult. The worst thing that a person can hear is that they have to change their career or their marriage in order to do tshuva. Why? Because these are things that are very difficult for people to do. I know that when I deal with converts, the most difficult thing for them to do is usually to move. Why? Because they like their house, or it's expensive to move to a Jewish community, or it's unfamiliar. It's very difficult to move, but without moving to a Jewish community, you cannot be a Jew. You simply cannot be a Jew by yourself, especially in the beginning. Difficult thing for other people is also sometimes they have to change a business. Why? Their business is full of cheating and lying. A lot of people are in the electronics business. And unfortunately, parts of the electronics business, unless you're working for Best Buy or one of these big stores, there's a lot of cheating in it. They buy refurbished goods and they sell them as new, because that's the only way to make money these days in these products. Real money I'm talking, not like 3, 4, 5% margins. They want to make 20, 30, 50, 60% profit margins. So what do? They get refurbished stuff, which means it was used by somebody before, it broke, they return it to the manufacturer fixed it, and then resold it as secondhand in essence, like a refurbished product, which means that the price, let's say if the price for the computer was, let's say originally retail price $2,000, once it's refurbished, it's $600. The value drops so significantly from the price of new to refurbished, it's drastic. Now the guy that buys it for $600, he could sell it for $1,000 because the end user is still saving $1,000 from the brand new. But no one's going to pay anybody $2,000 again for the product, even if it's technically better. Now the problem is that if you're selling this refurbished product as if it's new, meaning you bought it for $600 and you're selling it for $2,000, because people are under the belief that this is a new product, and you made sure to do all the things to lead them to believe it, by telling them that's new, by taking off the stickers that say refurbished with a hot air gun, by taking off all the little specific pieces that the manufacturer puts inside sometimes to make sure that you know it's refurbished, and you switch them with ones that are not refurbished, and you have a whole factory in your basement. I know, when I was 17, I used to work for one of these companies. When you don't know, you don't know. The reality is, Rabotai, this is 100% stealing. And a person can keep Shabbat until he's blue in the face. When he shows up to Shamayim, no Gan Eden for you, sir. Why? You're a thief. You stole from people. Yeah, but they were goyim. So, makes it worse. Chilul Hashem too. Yeah, but there were Jews that were not keeping Shabbat. So, who said you're allowed to steal from people that are not keeping Shabbat? Who said you're allowed to steal from anybody? You're not allowed to steal a cookie. You think you're allowed to steal $2,000? So people get into these businesses because they have zero emunah, and they think that if they don't do this, they're not going to make money. Or they go into different lending businesses, or mortgage businesses, or financial services. Every business, you tell me the business, I tell you how they cheat. Every single business today has literally gone to the point where people feel perfectly fine to steal, to such an extent that they believe that if they don't steal, they call different words, by the way. They call, no, I'm just hustling. I'm just doing my thing. Just doing my thing. At the end, the client's happy. Yeah, you would be happy if you didn't steal. It's gone to the point where we actually have turned the Avera into a mitzvah. We've turned the sins into mitzvot. And people know it, and everybody deep down inside knows it's wrong, but they either don't have the courage or the knowledge of how to get out of it. I'm telling you right now, whoever is in it, if you know them, if you are them, whatever it is, do yourself a favor, get out. Because your life is not going to become easier. It's only going to become more difficult by these things. So, a person gets a solid job where he's going to try to help people get to Gan Eden. Meaning he has an important job. He's a big rabbi. He's a very important rabbi. People follow him. People like him. People are going to do tshuva because of him. He has an important position, not just here in Shamayim. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, who do you think you are? Who do you think gave you this position? What do you think, that now because you became some famous rabbi and you have a few followers and a few shekels and a few this, that you think that you're somebody? The only reason why Hashem gave it to you is because of the Torah. If it wasn't the Torah, you and the rat would be the same thing. Meaning, even if you become this big, really important tzaddik, you're still not allowed ever to search for kavod. Because the only kavod that's permissible in the world is kavod for the Torah and for Hashem. Everything else is not allowed. So the Gemara in Masechet Brachot says that when a person gets this job, this very, very important, legitimate, kosher job of being a big rabbi, what should he think about when he gets this position? He should think about, how many days do I have left on this earth? What a morbid, horrible thought, we think. But the reality is that if a person understands what it means to do tshuva, what it means to help other people do tshuva, what it means to be an Eved Hashem, a servant of Hashem, he has to think, how much time is Hashem giving me to actually fulfill my role? Like, this is a big deal. I'm in charge of whether people go to Gan Eden or Gehenom. If they go to Gan Eden, I'm going with them. If they go to Gehenom, I'm going with them. Wherever they go, wherever the Talmidim go, I'm going there. It's not so pashut. No, I'm a rabbi. I learn halacha every day. Eliyahu Navi says you learn 2 halachot, you're okay. So I learn more than 2 halachot. I learn Gemara, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 pages every day. I learn the Shulchan Aruch. I learn the Mishnayot. I learn the Chumash. I learn the Midrashim. I'm learning all day, and then I pray a little bit with the guys. I'm fine, right? No, sir. You're nowhere close to be fine. You're nowhere close to be fine, because if you possess knowledge and you do not share it with Klal Yisrael, and they end up going to Gehenom, you, my friend, are following them. Now, to give you an understanding of the Yirat Shamayim, of the real Rabbanim HaKadoshim that we had in our nation, not even too long ago, we're talking about our grandparents. Rav Wasserman Alav Shalom was one of these tzaddikim that literally just didn't belong in his lifetime, in this era. I don't even know if he belonged in this world. You learn about these tzaddikim, it's like, this is human beings? You sure it's not angels? I don't know anybody like this, or even half of this, or even the shoe of this, or someone that's a cartoon character made up to be like this. But the people that were there tell the stories, and you say, Ishtabach Shemolad, we have people like this in our nation? Ashrechem Yisrael, you have such people. Go find me a goy like this. Rav Wasserman Alav Shalom taught a yeshiva ktana, young kids that eventually would have to move on to higher level learning with the older kids. When the kids would graduate, he would come to each one of them and plead with them, please, Rabbi, he's calling them Rabbi, please, Rabbi, pray for me, help me. Don't leave your teacher in Gehenom if you're going to Gan Eden, because the Gemara says you're not supposed to have your students in Gehenom and you're in Gan Eden. He's calling his students the teachers. One time his son was, they were threatening to put him in the army. So they were thinking about getting them out of the country and sending him to Eretz Yisrael. Who wants to be in a Russian or Polish army? It's better off committing suicide. So they were praying a lot, and one of the letters that surfaced between him and the Chafetz Chaim, it says that, this would be very difficult to have my son go to Eretz Yisrael and leave me, because he's my rabbi, and he's also my chavuta. He's my rabbi, and he's also someone I learn with. This is a person that the Chafetz Chaim said You have merit if you're standing next to him. Just to stand next to him, it's a mitzvah. Stand next to Rav Wasserman, you made mitzvah. These are people that we had in our nation. But what do you think? They got there because they say, look at me, I know the entire Shas by heart? No. Has nothing to do with it. They understood that their job, their role in the world was very critical, and they considered this non-stop. A person that understands how important their role is in a life will take it much more seriously. So the Mishnah is trying to emphasize that when it comes to personal gratification, you're not supposed to seek any type of greatness for yourself. The only time that you're allowed to seek honor is in order to enhance the magnitude of the Torah and its chachamim. Meaning that if you getting honor is going to help people do tshuva, allowed. If you getting honor is going to help people come to Beit Knesset, do mitzvot, get closer to Hashem, mitzvah. Not only allowed, it's mitzvah. Why? Because it's not you per se getting the honor, it's the Torah that you possess is getting honor. That's what you see, for example, the Rishon LeZion, Rav Ovadia Alav Shalom, or his son today, or the ones in previous generation, they always wear this special clothes. All the Hasidim, they have their Rebbe, they all wear this special clothes. Why don't they dress like everybody else? What, they think they're somebody? No. It's kavod for the Torah that they possess. It's kavod for the Torah that they possess. The same thing is when it comes to kvod chachamim. Kvod chachamim is something that's very, very important in our Torah, in our nation, because these chachamim, these people that possess Torah, these are Hashem's favorite kids. These are his favorite kids. These are his favorite servants. This is it. Why? He says, I have a mouth, but no one can hear me. You're going to be my mouth. Which means that when you disrespect a real rabbi, you don't have a problem with the rabbi. You have a problem with Hashem. This is why it's so silly to see sometimes. You feel bad for people, how stupid they are. They make these comments on the internet like they have no life. Like they have nothing else to do with to make silly or stupid or insulting comments after real rabbis. I don't understand what the mentality is. Because I thought initially, oh, maybe it's jealousy. What are you jealous about? Working 24 hours a day? What's there to be jealous of? You have no life? You barely see your wife and kids? What are you jealous exactly? What, the camera? I'll buy you a camera. Go, put yourself on camera. What do you want? What are you exactly jealous of? So I never understood the jealousy part. So then I think, oh, maybe he's jealous of what? What? Torah? The book is free. Go, it's on the internet. Read the book, you'll have the same knowledge. So it can't be the Torah. What's he jealous? Okay, so it's not Torah. It's not the... What is it? So you don't understand why these people are doing it. Except that they're trying to justify their own sinful behavior. And you are reminding them that they're sinners. They want to make themselves feel good. But you're ruining it for them. Why? Because they know you're right. Because you provided a Torah source. And they don't like it. And they don't like it. So they'll look for a 3-hour speech, and they're not going to say the whole 3 hours is bad. 3 words are bad. 3 words are bad, and they say, no, see, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He said 3 words. I don't think it's the right 3 words. By the way, do you know how many words are in 3 hours? One time somebody asked me if I wanted to write a book about my personal life. And I told him I'm not really sure, maybe one day, it's not really such an important story. I mean, we already say it 500 times, what's the point of writing a book about it? But I said, I was considering it for a while, and one day maybe we'll do it, B'ezrat Hashem. But he said, okay, you know what, let's just take the lecture. I said, it's going to take a lot of time, I have to learn, I have to teach. You can't just sit there and just write. It's not like speaking. You have to write a certain way for people to read it. To write the Alon HaKodesh, for me, it's my neshama has to leave my body by the time there's an actual article you can read. Unless the neshama left the body, nothing comes out. Why? Because it has to be readable. And you don't write the way you read. Or the way you speak. So you can't just take the words I speak and just have somebody type it down and it's finished. It doesn't work that way. So somebody asked me, do you want to write it? I said, it's going to take a lot of time. So I have a suggestion. Let's take the personal story lecture, the well-known one that has many viewers and so on. Baruch Hashem helped many, many people. And I'll have somebody type it. Type word for word what you said. I said, okay, fine. I said, hopefully we get a few pages out of this and I'll give you an idea to build on. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So that's what we did. Some time passed, he comes back to me, he goes, I can't believe it. I said, what? He said, you have over 44,000 words in 2 hours. This is more than 35%. This is like 45% of a book. Like a big book. Not talking about like a little homeless book that you get for $5.99 at the airport because you have nothing to do. No, like a real book, 300, 400, 500 pages. He says this is like 40% of a book. One lecture, 2 hours. So 3 hours, add another 50%. So why am I telling you this? Because now, if you have 45,000 words in 2 hours, let's just say it's 60,000 words, 55,000 words in 3 hours. Some yo-yo decided that there's 3 words out of the 60,000 that are not 100% to his likings. And you're telling me it's because of the Torah? It has nothing to do with Torah. It has to do with his sins. But that's the way it is. That's the way the world is. People don't like to hear the truth because it affects them. So, when it comes to Kvod Chachamim, the Hasid Yavet says, you have to do everything in your power to give kavod to the Chachamim. So if what you're going to do is going to give kavod to the Chachamim, do it. There's certain things that you'll see how the Hasidim, how they treat their rabbi. Certain things they do that to people that are not in the Hasidut, it sounds very strange, it looks very strange. But it's actually, believe it or not, it's part of the kavod for the Hasidim, for the Chachamim. If you go to some of these Hasiduts, you see how the Rebbe, Motzei Shabbat, he eats a little piece of some food, and the rest of the Hasidim jump on it, like as if they've never eaten in their life. No, this is also part of the kavod for the Chachamim. I mean, I personally would never be able to do it because I don't find it very tasteful, but the point is, to them, they believe it, they grew up this way, and to them it's like the greatest thing in the world. It's like going to the Kotel. Why? Because you were able to eat a piece of like grain or bread that the Rebbe touched. It's not Avodah Zarah, by the way. It's not Avodah Zarah. Don't mistake it Avodah Zarah. It's kavod for the Chachamim. It's kavod for the Chachamim. Same thing, for example, somebody was wanted to buy I believe it was a pen that Rav Steinemann, alav shalom, used. I think he paid like $3 million for it. Like some absurd price. It's a pen you could buy from a store for 99 cents, maybe $3 if it has special ink. No. This pen is not a regular pen. The Chacham touched this pen, he wrote Chidushim with this pen. This pen changed the world. This pen changed the world. When a person understands such things, he's willing to pay a lot of money for this stuff. So, kavod for the Chachamim, there's a lot of different things that are done in order to give kavod for the Chachamim, but the Chachamim themselves run away from them. To continue with Rav Steinemann, alav shalom, when he was already in his later years. I think he was maybe 94 years old. He came back from a trip. He was on a trip with the Rebbe Migul. They went to a trip together to go do Zikuy Rabim, help people get closer to Hashem. And they say that literally they gave the rabbi kavod melachim, like they gave him honor like a king. Amash, they celebrated them, gave them such honor, celebrations, like something unbelievable. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people showed up just to hopefully get a glimpse, just to see him somewhere. Not even touch him, just to see, at the end of the stage, a football field away, the Rebbe, I could see his hand. They gave him a mash kavod like a king. But when Rav Steinemann came back home, he was very, very upset. It's very sad. So one of the Talmidim asked, Kvod Arav, it was no good, no people? No, Baruch Hashem, a lot of people. So what happened? Why is the Rav upset? He says, I'm scared. Why is the Rav scared? He's 94 years old. What could you possibly be scared of at this stage of your life? I'm scared that maybe I got too much kavod. I'm scared that maybe they gave me too much kavod, like they think it's me. Maybe they think that they're supposed to give me the kavod. I'm scared that they gave me the kavod and not the Torah the kavod. I'm very scared of this. And he got he was sad about it. Aras is like, what do you mean? If you're not going to give me kavod, who are you going to give kavod to? Torah doesn't read itself. Who reads the Torah? Did you ever see a Torah pray minyan? Did you ever see a Torah speak for itself? Us, we think, what are you talking about? Who read the Torah? I read the Torah. I did it. I wrote the book. I said the shiur. Go find somebody else, give you a shiur for 9 hours. No. I did all of it. Me. He was scared. He was scared. Hashem yirachem aleinu. His driver, who was with him for many, many years, said that he had the merit to put eye drops in the rabbi's eyes 30 minutes before he died. He was 104 years old. He had problems with his eyes, suffered for years, and he got to a point where before he died, he couldn't move, couldn't take care of himself, and his driver put drops in his eyes. So Rav Steinemann, Alav Shalom, told him to come closer, and he said, he whispered in my ear, Ashrecha, Chazaku Baruch, thank you. What thank you? Eye drops? Gdol Ador, you're the biggest rabbi in the world. What are you talking about? This, Rabotai, is a person who understands you don't deserve anything. You as a person deserve nothing. No one owes you anything. Not a ride, not a loan, not a nothing. Not even eye drops you don't deserve. Even if you're a big rabbi. Kal v'chomer if you're not. Needless to say, if you're not. This is the opposite of our logic. Our logic is, what do you mean? I gave her a ride. Why wouldn't she give me a ride back? I lent him some money. Why wouldn't he lend me when I need? I'm his friend. Why wouldn't he talk to me? I'm her husband. How come she's this? How come she's that? Why doesn't she cook for me? Why doesn't she clean for me? You don't deserve anything. No one owes you anything. They should do it if they want to do chesed, they want to do mitzvah, but owe it to you? Zero. No one owes you anything. When a person starts understanding this, they could literally eliminate almost 100% of the problems in their life that they have with people. Why? Because your only problem with people is because you believe they owe you something. Deep down inside, you think the world owes you something. Like everybody has an IOU. He owes you a ride, he owes you a raise, he owes you a loan, he owes you time, he owes you attention, she owes you this, she owes you a meal, she owes you a kiss, she owes you a hug. Who are you? Is what Torah is telling us. Who do you think you are? And we're not talking about some rasha. Of course you don't deserve anything. No. We're talking about the tzaddik. We're talking about Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi is saying, if you're the tzaddik, if you're the one that learned Torah, that fulfilled everything we said until now, and you're living off of bread and nothing, and salt, and you're barely drinking water, and you're like a little Moshe Rabbeinu in your generation, you're the greatest in the world. You still deserve nothing. If a person starts to look at the world that way, first and foremost, they'll never get into an argument with anyone. Why? They don't owe you anything. So what are you arguing about exactly? Why? She didn't do this? Yeah, but she doesn't owe you. Why? But I didn't do this? But he doesn't owe you. No one owes you anything. So what are you arguing about? The second thing that he does is it makes you appreciate every little beep in your life. Every little thing that happens in your life automatically becomes like lottery. Wow, thank you very much. Chazaku Baruch. You gave me the water. Ashrecha and Tov Lach. May Hashem bless you forever and ever. And your kids grow up to be Kohanim Gdolim. And wait, I just gave you water, buddy. It's free over there from the fountain. No, you don't owe me the water. You don't owe me the water. Who says you're supposed to give me water? Yes, it's kavod for chachamim, it's mitzvah, it's good, but it's not owed. When a person starts looking at the world from that set of glasses, that set of clear glasses, all of a sudden, every single thing that they have in their life becomes valuable. The phone that's half broken, the car that doesn't really drive all the time, it drives whenever it feels like it, the house that's like, you're not really sure if it's a house or it's a hen, because your neighbor looks like a chicken, and the kids in the house are not really wearing clothes anymore, so they're acting like chickens sometimes, and you're not really sure if the oven works or if it's really an oven or just a closet. You're not really sure what's going on, but you live there. But it's the greatest place on earth. Why? No one owes you anything. Which means that everything you have is a present. Everything you have is a present. Everything you have is a present. An undeserved present, which is the best type of present. Why is that the best type of present? Imagine that one of the people has a birthday. And the husband buys the wife nice ring, bracelet, or whatever people buy each other these days. And she says, wow, I love it, thank you. But after 2-3 days, finished. After she showed it up to everybody on Facebook, and she made sure to show everyone on Instagram, and she tweeted about it 87 times. After that, it's finished. Okay, that's it. I got the ring. Okay, I'm going to put it back in. Finished. That's it. Unless somebody asks, the excitement is over. Why? It was my birthday. Why'd you get it? Oh, it's my birthday. Oh, okay, it's your birthday. That's why you got it? Because it's my birthday. Meaning, he owed it to me anyway. It's not like the ring is special. Not the husband is special. The ring, I'm showing the ring. I'm not showing the husband and the ring. No, the husband is like back to work to hopefully pay for the ring. He has to get a second or third job now, in UPS maybe. Why? He has to pay for the ring. So she takes the picture of the ring 500 times. She tweets about the ring 900 times. And she puts on Instagram the ring because the ring is special. Husband, not so much. Why? He owed it to me. It's my birthday. Honey, you didn't get me anything for my birthday? People get divorces over this stuff. People literally get divorced because of birthday presents. If he doesn't know what to buy me on my birthday, then he doesn't know me. Baruch Hashem, he doesn't know you. Such a person who wants to know. People think that they're owed. They're owed. Rabotai Yekarim were owed nothing. Nothing. I know this is the opposite of what we all learned our entire life. You start thinking that way, everything becomes better. Your wife cooks for you. Even if it literally tastes terrible, to you it's like, Baruch Hashem, tzadikah, kdosha, let me kiss your hands, please, honey. No, stop it already, honey, you're all exaggerating. It's not even that good. I put too much salt. What too much salt? I love salt. It's the greatest salt in the world. Where'd you get it? From the Dead Sea? Did you really go to the Dead Sea just to make me food for tonight? You guys think I'm joking. This is the way you're supposed to be a husband. She doesn't owe you anything. She made you food. Who do you think you are? What, she owes you anything? Now, if she's smart, she's going to do it. Why? Because if she wants to be a tzaddiket, she has to think about you. You want to be a tzaddik, you have to think about her. The problem with today's marriage is everybody thinks about themselves. He's thinking about what she owes him. She's thinking about what she owes her. Eventually, they go to the court and settle the debt. They settle the debt. Why? He owes her a lot of money. She owes him a lot of money. Everybody owes everybody money, but nobody knows who's going to pay. Eventually, only the lawyer gets paid. Because everybody thinks that they're owed something. This is a horrible, terrible, disastrous attitude that's leading to an enormous amount of divorce, suffering, and just misery in life. People think, oh yeah, I have money, so that's good. No, probably not, actually. Why? Because now you think people owe you even more. You have a lot of money, so that means that the balances go higher. You think that you deserve more now because you're a certain class. Your suits are no longer the $99 suits on sale. Now you don't even wear a suit if it's less than $1,000. You don't even wear one if it's less than $1,000. No, you give it to the gemach. Give it to some people, homeless people. Yeah, this is only $800. I don't wear stuff like that anymore. It's like, when I was a kid. I don't wear $1,000, not for me. So now you think that the world owes you even more. People show up late to work. Were you crazy? You're 3 minutes late. Are you out of your mind? Why? What? You made a big deal. Why? He owes you his life because you gave him a paycheck every 2 weeks. You gave him a paycheck every 2 weeks. That means that if he's late 3 days, he's like a betrayer. He's like a kolach. He's gechazi. He's something. Something's wrong with him. He's late 3 minutes. Shem Hashem. Because you think he owes you everything because you gave him a paycheck. Once a person gets a paycheck and knows how to value the paycheck, then not only do they thank the boss for the opportunity, not only do they thank Hashem for having livelihood and sustenance, not having to be a beggar, but they literally do everything and anything possible to make sure that they earn a lot more for the company than just that paycheck. Why? Because it's free. You don't deserve it. Yeah, but I worked. So what? A lot of people work. Go to Mexico. Go to Guatemala. Go to different places around Africa. People work. Go to China. Go to different places around the world. They work harder than all of us put together. They get $5 a month. $5 a month. $6 a month. Rich, maybe you get $90 a month. So you could feed like yourself and like maybe a neighbor. They work harder than you. No, but they're not skilled workers. No, opposite. They're the most skilled workers in the world. Your iPhones, your computers, all that stuff, they do it. They're much smarter than all of us. They're much more skilled. They're much everything, but they get $5 a day, $5 a week, $5 a month. Nothing. Zero. So what? You think because you live in America, therefore you deserve $1,000 a week or $10,000 a week or whatever salary somebody decided to give you? You deserve it? You're that much better than the guy in China? No one is that much better than anybody else. People need to always understand this. Could never be such a wide variance between two people, where one person deserves $5 and the other guy deserves $10,000. It's impossible to be that much better than one person. Even if you go, for example, in athletics, and let's say you go against, the best athlete, the best basketball player. We go, let's say, Michael Jordan. I know in my day he was a good player. So even if you go against him, and you obviously not running back and forth, but let's say just shooting the ball, it can never be that he's going to get 10,000 shots for every 5 shots you get. It's not possible to be that much different. Yes, he'll definitely be better than all of us, but it won't be that much better. It won't be that to that extent. It may be that he'll get 100 shots and you get 25 or 30 or 40. That may be better than you, like double, possibly even triple. Assuming you're really bad and he's really good. But it'll never be a factor of 1,000 times more. Or even 100 times more. No one is better than anybody in anything to that extent. So you can't justify that you're getting more money because you're that much better than everybody else. You're not. Hashem decided you're going to get it, but you forgot. You forgot Hashem decided. You think it's because of your own skill. And that's a mistake. A very, very big mistake. The tzaddikim ran away from kavod. It says here that ve'al tachmod kavod. It says that if you're going to use this kavod, this gdulah, this honor for yourself, no good. If you're going to use it for the honor of Torah, good. If you're going to use it honor for the scholars, good. But also there's one other exception. If you're going to use it as honor for the Jewish people. What's an example of this? Mordechai Yehudi. Mordechai in the Megillah of Esther says that after the whole thing happened, the big miracle that saved Am Yisrael, Mordechai became the number 2 man under the king. Now the Gemara says that not all of the Chachamim agreed with this move, and he was the 4th in the order of the Sanhedrin. He was number 4, but after he became part of the government, he became number 5. Meaning he was lower the level. Still a giant among giants, but nonetheless, not everybody agreed with this move. But still, why did he do it? He's such a tzaddik, he saved the entire nation of Israel. He did it because he wanted to bring greatness to Am Yisrael. He wanted to bring greatness to Am Yisrael, and he knew that by serving in the kinghood, he was going to be able to help them, to protect them, and to do good for them. Without forgetting Torah, without not learning anymore, chas v'shalom, or anything like that. But this is why the Chachamim explain is that even someone that has one of these leniencies, Kvod Torah, Kvod Chachamim, or Kvod of Am Yisrael, has to constantly examine their own motives very carefully. Because it's very easy to claim that you're concerned only with the honor of the Torah or Am Yisrael, when in reality, you really mean yourself. No, I'm a rabbi because of the people. I love the people. I love them. That's why I'm doing it. No, I'm working and making all this money because I want to do Kiruv and I want to donate all the money that I make. That's why I'm publicizing the donations to make sure that other people know that it's good to donate. And all this shtuyot, nonsense that people have in their head to justify their bad behavior. You have to constantly check yourself. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing any mitzvah? Why? Are you doing it because you're getting honor out of it? Are you donating and telling people that you're donating because you're trying to motivate them, or you're trying to tell them? You're trying to motivate them to donate also, and you're saying, listen, I just donated $150. Why don't you do also? You make more money than me. Why don't you at least do what I do? Or you're just saying, all right, I donated. That's it. You finish the sentence over there. Just let people know, I donated. Oh, so you want people to know that you're a tzaddik. And this is chaval. It's a very, very sad situation. Because Rav Shach, alav shalom, says that any mitzvah that you get kavod for it, it's like having a ticket with holes in it. In the old days, before they had metro cards and other electronic forms of payment, when you wanted to go on a bus or a train, if you'd buy, let's say, 10 rides or 20 rides, and every time you use it, they would make a hole in your ticket. Now, after the ticket is full of holes, it's garbage. So Rav Shach, alav shalom, says that if you do a mitzvah, but you got kavod for it, you go up to Shamayim, and they tell you, oh, you didn't really do much, huh? He goes, no, look, I have my ticket, all the mitzvot. He goes, no, sir, look at your ticket, it has holes in it. Every time you got kavod, it's like you used honor. You used the schar. All the reward you were supposed to get, you used it. There's nothing left. Ticket is used. Throw in the garbage. Is the pail over there on the right side. Want to help you? There's a pail over there. Not worth anything, this ticket. You already used it. Can't use it again. It's holes in it. We have to check ourselves. We have to check ourselves. How do you know if you're really happy about Kvod Torah and not your own honor? If somebody tells you there was a big success, a big Kiddush Hashem somewhere. Now, if you're, for example, having a shiur, and you have 100, 200, 500 people show up, you're happy about it, right? Happy. You have a marathon of raising money, and you raised the goal, whatever goal you had, you raised 100,000, 100 million, whatever the goal these days are, you raised it, you're happy. But that doesn't actually mean that you're doing it for the sake of Torah yet. How do we know if you're doing it for the sake of Torah? If somebody else did it, and somebody else succeeded in getting 500 people to come to a shiur Torah, and raising $1 million, and doing a big Kiddush Hashem, somebody else did it, and you're just as happy for them. If you're just as happy at somebody else's success, then you're pure. But if you're only happy about your own successes, there's nothing pure about that. You're just selfish, like everybody else. Meaning that in order for us to be pure, we have to be excited about other people being successful. This is very hard for people to fathom. Why? Because jealousy is like almost become like something like it's like a, you breathe, you're jealous. It's like, yeah, of course I'm jealous. What do you mean I'm jealous? Everybody's jealous. People are jealous of each other constantly. So they can never be happy for each other. They see the neighbor got a new car. This guy's probably a thief. He probably stole the car. Probably robbed some bank or something. Why can you afford the There always has to be something wrong. Why he got a new car? No, he probably cheated the bank. Yeah, he cheated the bank. There's no way. Why does he have a new car? Where did he get the money to get a new car? Like, we have to make an excuse of why he has a new car, and why he has a new house, and why there's an extension, and why he's successful. Like, there's no way that there's something wrong. Something wrong. The fish, smells from the top. And we come up with all these clever statements to explain ourselves of why there's no way that anybody else could be kosher and successful at the same time. But us, we're the only kosher people on earth. In reality, this only means that your mitzvot are for honor. Your whole behavior is for honor. It has nothing to do with righteousness. Why? Because you're only happy if you succeed. You're only happy if you get a bigger house. You're only happy if you get a nicer car. You're only happy if you buy a Sefer Torah. If you finish the Shas. If you get people to get to shiur Torah. It's not a pure mitzvah. And this is something that a person needs to check at all times. To such an extent that he has to get to a point where he doesn't even levakesh, he doesn't even ask, he doesn't even look for greatness. It's not just avoid it. It's don't even look for it even inside your heart. Like someone wants to tell you like some type of compliment, like you should like cringe a little bit. Why? Because you need to know how much Hashem hates it. What is it like? The Rabbi Israel of Rizin says that a person that gets kavod needs to look at it this way. There was one time one of the generals of the king, wherever he would walk, wherever he would go, people would give him kavod. Wow, chazaku baruch, you're the strong one, you're the best one. Ashrecha that you work for the king. Yeah, everybody would kiss his hand, everybody would give him honor. Wherever he would go. And he liked it. One day, the king decided to join him on one of his walks. Now, since the king never went outside, most of the people didn't know he was the king. He didn't wear fancy clothes. He just wore regular clothes like everybody else. So he thought, this is the general and probably one of his soldiers or one of his colleagues. Didn't know it was the king next to the general. So they continued giving the general, wow, shrecha, Good to see you. Wow. What? How embarrassing is it for the general to get kavod while his king is next to him and is being ignored? This is us when we get kavod. We get kavod while Hashem Yitbarach is right next to us and he's being ignored. Like he did nothing. We did the whole thing. Wow, Shrecha, what a chidush you have. Wow, amazing, you got this house. Wow, you built this company. Wow, you did this thing. You get kavod, it's like that. The king is right next to you, but you're the one that's getting all the kavod. This is, if a person really gets their head around it, is very embarrassing. Because if you really love the king, the last thing on earth you want is to steal honor from him. The Chachamim were so afraid of this honor that when they would get it, literally some of them would have like a physical reaction to it. One of the biggest Chachamim we've had in the last few hundred years is Rabbi Akiva Iger. Not Rabbi Akiva from the Gemara, that's almost 2,000 years ago, but Rabbi Akiva Iger. And Rabbi Akiva Iger was at such a high level of Kedusha that he simply did not understand why anybody thought anything of him at all. So Rabbi Akiva went to visit Lisa, different city. The people, students, were saying, "Oh, for the Rav, people are very excited. Wow, so excited to see you." He says, "Why is everybody so excited to see an old man with a hunchback? Never saw an old man with a hunchback? Why are you so excited?" Like, he didn't view himself like we view him, Gdol Adol, giant of giants, Malach Hashem, angel of Hashem, this person. He didn't understand. Why? Learn Torah a little bit. Imagine, Donald Trump all of a sudden becomes humble. All of a sudden he becomes humble and they say to him, "Oh, Mr. President." And he looks behind him. "What? Mr. President? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Me? No, I'm just Donnie. I'm just Donnie. What are you talking about? How are you? Give me your hand. How are you?" You can't even imagine such a thing. Like that, Rabbi Akiva Iger could not understand or imagine why anybody's giving him kavod. So one time, there was a event where both him and Rabbi Yaakov Milisa, also one of the other Gedolei Ador, were in the same place. He came to visit Rabbi Yaakov Milisa, and when they got to Shabbat, the Keilah wanted to give honor to Rabbi Akiva Iger. He's the biggest rabbi in the world. And they wanted to give him an aliyah first. When they called his name, he immediately passed out. Passed out, fell off his chair, passed down the floor. Old man, scares everybody. They don't understand what's happening. Woke him up. Kvod Rav, you okay? Okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, Kvod Rav, please get an aliyah. Passed out again. Passed out again. He had a physical reaction. He passed out. They told him, "I'm going to give you aliyah." What? The average Joe, Mechalel Shabbat, gets aliyah sometimes, even though you're not allowed to give him aliyah. You give him aliyah, he doesn't think anything of it. Sometimes you have some people, I heard stories, Mamash, a guy goes on Shabbat, he gets an aliyah to the Torah with his cell phone on. One time a guy answered the phone on Shabbat while he's next to the Sefer Torah. "Oh, 1 second, Kvod Rav, 1 second. Yeah, I'm at the Torah right now. And yachzor elecha, I'll get back to you." He answered the phone, Mamash. People have no busha whatsoever. They don't think it's a big deal. Like, yeah, it's just a book. It's just a scroll. It's just a building. It's just this and it's just that. People have no concept of the fact that they're literally on borrowed time. But when Rabbi Akiva Iger was given an aliyah to come to the Torah, he got it many times in his life in his own keilah. But here, when he's visiting Lisa, he passed out. After the second time, Rabbi Yaakov Milisa came to him, whispered something in his ear. And immediately, Rabbi Akiva, eager, got up. Everything was okay, like nothing happened. Went to have the aliyah, did the blessing. So it was finished. And after him, Rabbi Yaakov Milisa had aliyah. So, the Talmidim asked, the Kehillah asked, Rabbi Yaakov Milisa, Kvod Harav, what did you say in his ear that got him to get out of his, what was happening to him? He said, Rabbi Akiva Eagle is such a tzaddik, he's such a kadosh, he doesn't understand why you're giving an old man with a hunchback any kavod. So when you gave him aliyah, before you gave me an aliyah, he couldn't handle it at all and he passed out. He said, Chas v'shalom, that they're giving me an aliyah before the biggest rabbi in the world, because he thinks I'm the biggest rabbi. He doesn't know he's the biggest rabbi in the world. So he couldn't deal with it. His body could not deal with it. His neshama was mamash leaving his body because he couldn't deal with how they're embarrassing me by giving him kavod. So since I know he's a tzaddik, I know Rabbi Akiva, I whispered in his ear, no, Kvod Harav, no, they're not giving you kavod. They feel bad for you. They feel bad for you because you're an old man and they want to give you some kavod. It's not that you're more important than me. Of course I'm more important than you. Of course I'm more important than you. Oh, he said, you're more important than me? Aliyah, no problem. You're more important than me? Of course I'll get an okay, Baruch Hashem. Then he make a mistake. This is how much they repelled and hated kavod, hated attention, hated how people distort the Torah and change it to something that it's not. If a person understood how much Hashem hates ga'ava, pride, he would literally run away from it. There's a reason why it says in the Gemara that when a person runs away from kavod, kavod chases him. But when a person runs after kavod, the kavod runs away from him. So, Rav Mendel Mikotsk said, why is it that the Gemara says such a thing? That if a person runs away from kavod, runs away from honor, honor is going to chase him. He says, why does such a thing happen? I thought if there's reward and punishment. I thought if you run away from kavod, it's a mitzvah. So how come Hashem is punishing you by making the kavod chase you? Meaning, he's like, why would I want kavod? Why does it keep chasing me? I'm running away from it. Go away. Why am I being punished? This kavod keeps coming back to me. This is the mind of a Yehudi Kadosh. This is the mind of a holy Jew. V'al tachmod kavod. Don't crave honor. Don't crave honor. People, all they do is crave honor. They invite you to their house to show you that they are good cooks. They invite you into their house to show you how beautiful the house is. They invite you into the community to show you their position and their stature. They invite you into their office to give you a tour. Everybody wants to show their guns. This is the opposite of what someone that wants to be close to Hashem does. Someone that's close to Hashem knows that everything and anything that they have is a free gift from Hashem. Not only it's a gift, it's free, meaning it's undeserved. Yeah, but I did mitzvot, so a lot of people do mitzvot. A lot of people do mitzvot. Doesn't mean that they don't all have what you have. You have a house, not everybody has a house. You have a car? Not everybody has a car. You have enough comfort in your bank account that you're not really worried about whether you could buy lunch tomorrow? Not everybody has that type of comfort. You know how many people are begging for change every day? So why did you do mitzvot? No one owes you anything, including God, especially God. So, which means that if you understand that, you'll look at everything you have as a free gift. Wow, Hashem gave it to me. That's so amazing. I don't even deserve this. It's so amazing. I got a book. Look, guys, I got a book. Hashem decided I'm going to actually have this book. This book can change the world. And he decided to give it to me. This is how you're supposed to look at the smallest thing in the world. The smallest thing in the world, a pen, a car, a house, a wife, kids, a husband, a shoe. Anything you have, you look at it as like, this is free gift from Hashem. Once you look at the things like this, you'll become happy. You'll immediately become happy because you'll realize that literally you're surrounded by gifts. And every day you discover you even have more gifts. Because every day you don't realize, wow, I didn't even realize that I had all these, I didn't realize I had all these shelves. Wow. You know how many people have books but they don't have shelves? Or they have shelves but they're broken? Or they have shelves but they're ugly, but mine are good? Mine are good looking? They have walls but their walls have holes in them? You start looking at everything, it's like, wow, look how much I have. I'm rich. What do you mean rich? You can't pay the mortgage. What? I have a mortgage? Ishtabach Shemo, I got a mortgage. Somebody decided to lend me money. Yeah, but you can't pay it. The fact that I have the mortgage already, I'm so happy about the mortgage, is Hashem decided to tell this bank to lend me $500,000. Who am I, Bechal, that somebody's going to lend me $500,000? Yeah, but you have to pay it. You're too excited about worrying about paying it. You're too excited. Why? Because no one owes you anything. No one owes you anything. Which means that everything and anything you have is mamash 100% free gift. Which would put you in a situation where if anybody ever gave you anything, you'd appreciate it. But if you start getting to the point where you're asking for it, then you have yourself a serious problem. Because now that means you think you deserve it. And if you think you deserve it, problems come with that. Problems come with that. People that look for kavod, Rav Efraim, Shichyeh, he described it perfectly. I know a few people, more than a few, that not only they look for kavod, they live for kavod. Like it's like, like you ever see like people that are like on, they can't breathe and they have like masks on them. And like every few like seconds, like, and you see the whole machine move, like the whole house moves with the machine because they need the next breath. That's people with kavod. They need kavod mamash to live, to breathe. This is a person that's the most miserable person in the world. He's worse than a beggar. Because even a beggar has an end to how much he wants. A beggar, he gets used to not getting much. As soon as he gets his meal for the day, he's happy. He's got it. Okay, I got $5 for the day. I'm going to eat for today. Okay, I'll worry about tomorrow. Beggar's not saving money for a rainy day. Beggar's just living for the day. But a person that seeks kavod, he'll never have enough. He's like mamash, worse than a beggar. He's like, please, give me some kavod. Please, give me some kavod. Give me some honor. I don't have anything. What do you mean? You have 18 buildings. Yes, please. Did you see the buildings? It's my building. Did you see them? Did you like them? Did you go inside? I built the buildings. Did you know? Oh, Hashem, I can breathe. He saw my buildings. He saw my buildings, Baruch Hashem. He saw my buildings. Oh, he's gone now. He left. Who's going to see my buildings now? And he starts going back in. Please. I need kavod, please. I'm dying here. Why? Sir, you have a nice car. Oh, you saw my car? It's a nice one, right? I bought it. I paid cash. $250,000, I paid cash. I worked for the money, and I paid for it. Okay, it's a nice cash. Relax, buddy. It's a nice car. I gotta go. I got stuff to do. Oh, who's gonna talk to me now? Please. And he goes back to begging again. Over and over again. Oh, you saw my wife? She's good looking, right? She's 20 years younger than me. Yeah, I found her in Tibet. Yeah, what do you think? Nice, right? Yeah. And he's constantly looking for attention, constantly looking for someone to acknowledge that he did something in the world. This is worse than any beggar you've ever seen in your life, because there's no end. If you are doing a mitzvah and you want to let people know, you should know you're no different than the person I just impersonated. Oh, did you see what I did? Did you see the shiur I organized? I did it. That shiur, yeah, there's 500 people. I did it. It was me. Oh, nobody told you it was me. Yeah, it was me. I did it. Who else would do it in the community? Who else cares like me? Who else, he tells you, who else cares about the community? I love the Jewish people. I love the Jewish people. Hashem, I love Hashem, Melech. He starts singing to you. Okay, buddy, you did the fire. I got stuff to do. What? Who's going to acknowledge I did the shiur? He starts going around people. Guys, you came to the shiur, right? Do you like the shiur? You guys like the shiur? You came to the shiur. I organized the shiur. I organized the shiur. Who do you think cares about Am Yisrael like me? Who brought the food? I brought the food. The donuts, I went to the donut place and I made sure it's kemach yashan. For you guys, for Am Yisrael. I made sure it's kemach yashan to make sure that Am Yisrael eats kosher. Because I love you guys. I bought it though. I went there, with my car. I went all the way to the store at 6 o'clock in the morning. For you. And he tells people all the things that he did. And this mitzvah he tells them. And that mitzvah he tells them. And the whole thing he tells people all the mitzvot that he did in his life from the time he was born until today. Miserable person. Will never have enough. In Shemaim, instead of making Hashem happy, he's making him cry. He says, look at my son spend eternity on nothing. He's doing a mitzvah already. Baruch Hashem, he's doing a mitzvah. But instead of keeping it in a safe, quiet, what is he doing? He's publicizing it to the whole world that he did it. He's publicizing it to the whole world that he donated, and he arranged this, and he did this, and he's publicizing on the internet. There's some people, they go to Beit Knesset just to do selfies. You ever see those people? They do a selfie. Oh, this is me with tefillin. Why do you have a phone in your hand with tefillin at the same time? Do you know it's an avirah from the Torah? You have tefillin, you're not even allowed to think about anything other than Torah. But you, no, I'm taking a selfie. Why? I want to show Am Yisrael I'm laying tefillin. So what? What do you want, a cookie? You're laying tefillin. What do you want? You want a cookie? You want everybody to say, yeah, wow, Baruch Hashem, you're a righteous Jew. Like, what do you want? Wow, Moshe Rabbeinu is proud of you. What do you want exactly? You're making a sin. You're publicizing it too. This, Rabotai, is something that a person that is looking for kavod, he doesn't think about this. Why? He's too busy thinking about kavod. He's too busy letting everybody know he put tefillin on. He's too busy letting everybody know he went to Nets at 5 o'clock in the morning. He didn't really go to Nets at 5 o'clock in the morning because he woke up at 4, studied for 45 minutes, and then went to Beit Knesset. No, he was out hanging out with the guys until 4:30, and he figured, you know what? Let me just go to Beit Knesset. He didn't sleep the whole night before. It's not that he's such a tzaddik that he woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and went to Beit Knesset. He hung out the whole night. He's like, I'm still awake. Let me pretend I'm a tzaddik and go to Beit Knesset at 5 to tell everybody on Instagram that I went to Beit Knesset at 5 o'clock in the morning. All of his mitzvot are tainted. All of his mitzvot. It's like having the most beautiful diamond bracelet used as a nose ring for the pig. That's what it is. $1 million in diamonds and gold, but you put it around a pig's nose, is disgusting. That's a mitzvah that you publicize for the sake of kavod. This is what the Chachamim were literally running away from. Running away from. To such an extent that when someone gave them kavod, they had physical reactions to this. They cringed. Some of them even passed out. Now I know that we're not at the level, or at least I'm not, to pass out if you tell me Chazaku Baruch. But the reality is that this is showing us what we're supposed to at least strive for. At the very least, we should stop looking for it. No one's expecting anyone to start passing out the next time somebody gives you a compliment. And if you do, you're probably not normal. You should go to the hospital. The reality is, but at least stop looking for it. Stop telling everybody about your mitzvot or the good things you did. It's not good for you. It's not good for your neshama. You're wasting. You're wasting all of the schar, all of the mitzvot that you have. There was one time a person that I know, he studied his whole life. Talmid Chacham, became a dayan. This is non-stop learning over 20 years. Straight. No breaks, no vacations, no Cancun, no Guatemala, no India, no nothing. Just learning, non-stop. Highest level you can get to is become a dayan. He got to the highest level. Got to the highest level, became a dayan. Became one of the people that you could say he can convert people, decide get or not, anything. He can judge, he can psak halacha. He's best of the best. Tzaddik, yashar, everything good. So he was in line to become a big rabbi in Eretz Yisrael. I'm not going to give all the details because then somebody that knows could figure it out who, and it's not good for him. The point is that he had the ability to, he had the knowledge, experience, and all the tools necessary to become a very big rabbi. Like one of the people that's the head of a bet din, meaning head of an entire city in Eretz Yisrael. He was in line. He was the best choice. In comparison to all the other choices, he was the best choice, clear. No one was doubting it. So it was assumed he's going to become the next head rabbi of this city. But before you know it, Hashem sent him a test that I don't think any one of us even wants to consider having. Somebody comes to him and says, listen, obviously you're the best one for the job. Obviously you're this. It's all obvious. There's no secret here. Oh, Baruch Hashem, so I got the job? No. Before we decide, I just need to make sure to make the envelope $15,000 thick and just deliver it here if you want, or you could just deliver it to my house. Excuse me? $15,000 in dollars, US dollars, not shekels. We don't really like shekels. Give $15,000, deliver it to me in cash, no checks. Please. For what? You want the job, no? You want the job? What do you think? It's a job for free? But I'm supposed to be a big rabbi. A lot of people are supposed to be a big rabbi. A lot of people are supposed to be a big rabbi. You want the job? $15,000. This is illegal, obviously, which is part of the reason why I can't tell you the names. But the point is that he had to decide, am I going to break the law? But no one's going to know, except God. And the guy that received $15,000. And obviously the guy that received $15,000, he's not going to admit that he took a bribe, he's going to go to jail. But I could go borrow the money, go do whatever, get the guy the money, and the next day I'm getting $10,000, $15,000 a month. Big rabbi. So it's not like I'm not going to have the money back. I'll have the money back in a week, in a month, 2 months. What do you think he did? Well, the secret is he was my friend. I know who he is. And the reason why he's my friend is because it's tzaddik and he didn't take the job. You try not to become friends with the people that take bribes. But this is a test, Rabotai. Someone that makes literally $1,000 a month has the opportunity to get a job, to get $15,000, $20,000 a month. All he has to do is just give a small bribe. Relatively speaking, a small bribe to get the job. It's just a little bit of like a sin. It's like not that. It's like a little bit. It's like a little bit of chilul Hashem, a little bit of a genom, a little bit. Not willing to do it. That's ish emet. How many like this we have in the world? Not many. Not many. But this is a person that was running away from kavod and realized that the gdulah, the honor that he was supposed to get, That's not what Hashem wanted. It's not what Hashem wanted, because if Hashem wanted it, this test wouldn't have happened. He would have gotten the job without the bribe, without any issues, and since he ended up not getting the job, because he didn't pay the bribe, he knew this is Ritzon Hashem, this is the will of Hashem. The will of Hashem was for me to withstand the test. Okay, yeah, but how am I going to pay for the 8, 9 kids at home with $1,000 still? Hashem will figure that out too. But that's a test, Rabotai, that most people can't even imagine such a thing. Meaning, you've studied Torah, you did what the book says. Like you did what the book says. You suffered in anguish, you suffered in poverty, survived on $1,000, $500 a month with 8 kids. I mean, it's unbelievable people even survive. For 20 years you're learning day and night, no breaks, no vacation, no nothing. You became the biggest Talmid Chacham. You got the best. You're the best. You are verifiably the best. Now it's finally time to get paid in this world. No. 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 No, it's not. Why? It's not the will of Hashem. If it was, it would have happened. Without violating the Torah. If Hashem wants it to happen, it's going to happen without any sins. It's going to happen in the right way, in a pure way. And obviously Hashem wanted to see if he really loves him, if he really is going to withstand the test of money. It's much easier for somebody that makes $5,000 or $10,000 a month to say, "No, I wouldn't have taken it either." Yeah, because you make $5,000, $10,000 a month. You, the dog and the cat, and the half a wife that comes to visit once in a while. $10,000 a month is a bunch of money for you. But for a guy that has a wife and 8 kids, lives off of $1,000 a month, go tell him, listen, give up a $200,000 a year career. Instead of making $12,000 a year, you're going to make $200,000. Go give that up. That's a test. That's a test for the giants. That's a test for the giants. Now the Mishnah continues. It says, "Yoter milimudecha aseh." Let your performance exceed your learning. Rav Efraim says that there are certain people that are learners where they literally learn their entire life. They go to yeshiva, ktana, then yeshiva gdola, then they go to a kollel, then they take the test, and they continue, and their whole life they're learning Torah. But they're still going to go to Gehinnom. How could such a thing be? The Mishnah here says, let your performance exceed your learning. Meaning, the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi is trying to question us and say, okay, so you're learning all this Torah, right? You come to the shiur 2-3 times a week, right? You watch it on the internet. You're watching the clips. You're watching the shiur. You're reading the books, right? You're doing all the things you're supposed to be doing, right? How much are you fulfilling? Okay, so you're doing the learning part. You like the jokes. You like the funny comments, the sarcasm, the 3-hour shiur that doesn't end, all that stuff. You're enjoying it, fine. How much are you actually doing, though? You went to kollel, you got up in the morning, you got there, you opened the book, you didn't close the book until you left, fine. How much did you do of what you actually learned? You learned about Kiruv. You learned that Rabbeinu Bachye says that someone that does Zikuei Rabim, someone that does Kiruv, is bigger than someone that has mitzvot and Torah like Moshe Rabbeinu. You learned about it, right? You learned that Hashem says someone that does Zikuei Rabim is going to have all of his prayers answered. His mouth is like my mouth. You heard that also, right? You heard that Hashem wants you to get people to do tshuva to such an extent that the Zohar Kadosh says you should chase a Jew like you chase your own life. What does it mean, chase a Jew like you chase your own life? Go tell the richest man in the world, either give me all your money, all the money you have, or I'll kill you. What is he going to do? He's going to give you all the money. On the other hand, if he's normal, if that person is on their deathbed, and tell him, listen, I can get you another hour to live. That's it. That's all you have. You have 0 time. You have 5 minutes left. but I can give you a shot that's going to give you another hour to live. Oh, great, please, doc, do it. No, I'm not really a doc. I don't work for the hospital. I'm independent. I'm a mercenary. What do you want? I have the shot. Here, see the shot? It's going to give you an hour to live, more. Okay, so give it to me, please. I need all your money. Every single penny you have, $100 billion, like Jeff Bezos has $100 billion. I want every single penny. For what? For 1 more hour. Every normal human being will sign off, is all the money for 1 more hour. For 1 hour, not even a whole life, not even 5 more years, nothing. 1 more hour, they'll give every single possession they have. You see families, Hashem Yachem, they have little kids, little babies. They have cancer. They have some type of incurable disease. You ask the family, so what are you asking for Hashem? A new house? No. What are you asking for Hashem? A new car? No. What are you asking for Hashem? More diamond rings? No. What are you asking for? For my kid to live. That's all I want. Life. Life. All I want is just life. Another hour, another day, another week, another year. Who knows? I want more time. I'm willing to give everything for that time. This chasing of life, everyone could understand. That's how much we're supposed to chase a Jew, to help him do tshuva. Just like we would chase our own life. As much as you're passionate about getting yourself another hour, another week, another year, another 20 years, another eternity, whatever it is, that how passionate you are for your own life, that's how passionate you're supposed to be about doing Kiruv. So now a person that learns in a yeshiva, in a kollel, in shiur Torah, watches on the internet and so on, they're going to say, okay, so you learn it 1,000 times. They mention it in every other lecture. How much Kiruv did you do? How much did you do? How much did you do? You spent $3,000 on a navigation system you didn't use, right? Because you have a phone. But how much did you spend on Kiruv? You spent $15,000 on a vacation where half the time you had a stomachache, you couldn't leave the room. How much you spend on Kiruv? You spend 6-7 hours a week playing basketball with the guys. How much time did you spend doing Kiruv? You spent half of your attention watching the stock market. How much of your attention was on Am Yisrael, Hashem's children, that are probably going to go to Gehinom if they don't do tshuva? How much? Is it the same? Is it half? Is it 10%? Yoter milimudecha aseh, you have to let your performance exceed your learning. Not only are we supposed to do what we learn, but we have to get to such a point of yirat shamayim, of fear of Hashem, that we literally start doing even more than what we're learning. More than what we're learning. Chachamim say that if a person has a safek, whether they're supposed to do a certain mitzvah or not, you should do it. He's safek. He's not really sure. Am I supposed to do this? Not supposed to do this? Not all mitzvot. I'm just giving you a certain scenario, hypothetical. When it comes to brachot, because it's rabbinical, then if you don't know if you made a blessing or not, don't do the blessing. But if it's a mitzvah deoraita, if it's a mitzvah from the Torah, and you're not sure whether you did it or not, do it. Do it. Even if you do it double, no problem. Why? Chas v'shalom, you won't do it and you're going against Hashem. It's better to do it double than to chas v'shalom not do it. Why? You're going against Hashem. You're not an enemy of Hashem. You didn't do it. Of course, we're supposed to be conscious that what we're doing, but the point is, if you have this safek, you're not really sure, there's a mitzvah from the Torah, you're not really sure if you did it, do it. Go do it. Meaning, do even more than what you've learned. More than what you're sure of what you're doing. Because a person that does not do what he learned, not even more, he doesn't even just do, forget about more. He's not even at the level of doing what he's learning. He learned about Kiruv 500 times, he still donates $3 a month just to make sure that somebody knows that he sends $3. People sometimes they have Baruch Hashem, they have money, but they say, no, I do Kiruv. What do you do? I send $5 a month. How come only $5? You make $5,000. Why only $5? No, I give 1,000 to Bnei Knesset, I give 1,000 to IDF, I give 1,000 to the zoo, I give 1,000 to the family. I give all the types of everybody else. So there's $5 for Am Yisrael. Person like that doesn't understand that he's getting a gift from heaven and he's throwing it in the garbage. Hashem is giving him money to do things that are good and he's taking it and he's throwing it in the garbage. A person that learns Torah, we're not even talking about doing more than what you learn. Just literally doing what you learn. You learn something, do it. Someone says, yeah, I learned it like 5, 6, 7 times, but I'm not ready yet. Okay, you're going to be ready next time, the 8th time? 8th time comes and goes, he's still not ready. 10 times he learned, don't drive on Shabbat, still not ready. 11th time he learned, don't touch a woman if she's not your wife, he's still not ready. 12th time he learned, don't go into a reform or a conservative shul. He's still going. Why? There's a good party there. It's a good party at the reform shuls. Much better than these Orthodox boring people. Yeah, but Torah says you're not allowed to go there, just like you're not allowed to go to a church. You're not allowed to go to a reform shul. You're not allowed to go to a conservative shul. Doesn't matter if there's a party there. It's considered avodah zarah. It's considered a church. People that pray Tehillim for the people that died in Pittsburgh, I don't understand. Yesterday you were praying for people like this to die in your Amidah. It's a church they're praying at. This is Torah says this. But you're still going. Why? Because you want to be politically correct and socially friendly. Socially acceptable. But you're going against Hashem to make people happy.
You're not allowed to read Tehillim for those people?
Read Tehillim for Reshaim? Why?
But they died because they were Jews. They died on Kiddush Hashem.
They died because Hashem killed them, not because they were Jews.
Hashem, that you can see about everybody. Hashem killed them, then he died.
No.
Hashem killed Aaron, Hashem killed Moshe, whatever. But those people died because they were Jews. That's what they died.
We had 3 shiurim about it. You can watch it. Go into details of the actual halacha. To pray about them you can if you want to, but why, I don't know. That's not Kiddush Hashem. You have to learn the halacha. Has nothing to do with the... No, you didn't. If that's your conclusion, you didn't learn the halacha. Go look at the Rambam. That's not Kiddush Hashem. You have to learn the halacha before you state it in front of people. You're making a mistake. No. Kiddush Hashem is dying because of the Torah, not because you're Jewish. If you die because you're Jewish, it's just a kapara. Has nothing to do with Kiddush Hashem. Kiddush Hashem means that you died because you're protecting the Torah. Somebody says, listen, either worship an idol, go to pray to J.C. Penney, go pray to Buddha, or I'm going to kill you. And you die, that's Kiddush Hashem. That's Rabbi Akiva Chaverav. That's what the Rambam Posek L'Halacha. Has nothing to do with dying because you're a Jew. That just means kapara. If you died because you're protecting Jews, then it's Alugeh Malchut. It's still not Kiddush Hashem. So you can't just say, no, but it's this, I learned it. You didn't learn it. So you're saying halacha, you're making a mistake, could be causing other people to sin. You have to be careful before you state halachot in front of people. Check it. I checked it.
No, I know, but there's all kinds of...
No. This is one opinion. There's no other opinions.
There's only one opinion?
I only provide the opinion that's valid. I don't provide multiple opinions. If there's multiple opinions, I'll give you multiple opinions. This one opinion. This one's one opinion. If there was another opinion, I tell you, Chazaku Baruch, that's your thought, but I agree with the other posek that says something else. No, in this case, there's only one opinion. Someone that wants to die on Kiddush Hashem has to die for the Torah. Not because he's a Jew, not because he's a non-Jew, not because of any other reason. It has to be defending the Torah. It's the only definition of Kiddush Hashem.
Those Jews, when they died 4 years ago in the Knesset in Jerusalem, while they were praying.
According to the Torah, they weren't defending the Torah, they were going to the Knesset. It's not Kiddush Hashem.
They didn't go to a reform.
Doesn't matter. It's still not Kiddush Hashem. It has to be defending the Torah. They didn't die because they were defending the Torah. They died because they were there.
Everybody that goes to reform shuls, they don't know, like let's say, they don't know the truth. They just think they're doing good things. Nobody ever told them, like, this is not allowed. So maybe they're, like some people, they don't know. They drive on Yom Kippur, they fast, they go there, talk on the microphone. I see them in California once, but they like really, like, samim, and but they just don't know better. So like, maybe they're really like, in their heart, like Hashem, like, because Hashem they don't know that, like, that it's not allowed, that they do, like, they don't even have a clue. So I'm not interested in a
Not according to the vast majority of poskim. By vast majority, I mean 99.9% of all the poskim in all of Am Yisrael's history do not consider them to nekut shenishbu. Nobody in our recent major poskim considers any chiloni a tinok shenishba. In fact, most consider Reform and Conservative as minim, which is not only not a tinok shenishba, but someone that like a missionary. But it's not, just because somebody doesn't know doesn't mean that they're patur for mitzvot. They have to learn. Just like they learned 20 years to be a lawyer, they have to learn Torah. That they're not allowed to make up their own mitzvot.
That's actually huge Kiddush. I thought all my life.
I have a few shiurim about it you could learn, but it's not a just to call people tinukot shenishbu or Kiddush Hashem, which is a very common thing that happened after the whole Pittsburgh happened. That's a chilul Hashem. That people are just deciding that there's to create halachot from nothing. You have to actually look at the books and you'll see it doesn't say anything like that. We went over it. But a person that learns Torah, he knows the halacha. In that time, one of the most horrible things that happened, in my perspective, that after the whole Pittsburgh thing happened, is when rabbis literally started creating halachot. They created halachot out of nothing. Like they knew what the halacha was, but they decided that no, this halacha, people are not going to like it. People are not going to like it. Because if I tell people that they didn't die in Kiddush Hashem, then people they're not going to donate. They're not going to like me. And they started deciding to say, no, they died in Kiddush Hashem. The Rambam says it. So one rabbi asked, okay, well, where does the Rambam say it? Because we checked in the Rambam and it doesn't say it. So the rabbi says, well, actually the truth is the Rambam didn't say it. But since everybody bought it, everybody thinks he said it, I said it. This is chilul Hashem. This is desecration of Hashem's name. This is a person that changes the Torah. Hopefully he does tshuva, because the type of judgment that he will get in Shamayim, Hashem Yirachem, how many people are going to sin because such of a stupid thing that he said, just to make people happy. But a person that learns Torah, and he still doesn't do what the Torah says, the Gemara in Masechet Yerushalmi, Masechet Shabbat, says that a person like this, he knows what the Torah says, but he still decides not to do it. 10, 12 times he got opportunities to do tshuva, he still didn't do it. He comes, he learns in a shiur, you're not allowed to do this, he still does it. You're not allowed to do this, he still does it. The Yerushalmi says, it's better that he would have suffocated inside his mother's stomach than come to the world as such a person. It would have been much better for him to die from the shilya of his mom's stomach. The uterus would have suffocated him. Much better. That would be mitzvah. Mitzvah for him to die than to sin against Hashem. Who's saying this? The biggest giants in the history of mankind. Not Yaron Reuven. It's Gemara. Why? Because they knew what it means to sin against Hashem. They knew. And they realized, you're going to go sin against Hashem, not just once, like on a regular basis, you're just not going to do it. No, much better for you to just die. I'm going to pray for you to die. I'm going to do mitzvah. I'm going to do mitzvah for you. When I do the kavanot, and when I say that the zedim is people that sin on purpose. When I think about zedim, I'm going to think you. I'm going to think you, kavanah for you. Bezat Hashem, you die this week. Bezat Hashem, you're going to die this week. Bezat Hashem, man. Either reincarnating has nothing to do with anything. No, we want them to do tshuva. We want them to do tshuva. That's what we really want people to do. We want them to do tshuva. But if you know, if a person says, no, I'm never going to do tshuva. I like eating pork on Yom Kippur with cheese on it. I say, okay, I like to pray for people like you. Oh, Bezat Hashem, thank you. Why? Panasa? No, then you die. Why? It's better for you. It's better for you. Bemed. Such a person that he's not like, doesn't know. No, he knows. And he decides, I don't want to do it. He knows. He decides, no, it's not for me this Shabbat. It's not for me to be with a woman. I like men. It's not for me to not steal. I like stealing. I like putting my hands everything. I like put my hands here, there. I like putting stuff everywhere. Person like this, Hashem Yirachem. Why? You decided that not only you're not going to listen to Hashem, but you're not going to listen to him on a regular basis. Chabotai Karim, the Chafetz Chaim one time organized the minyan of tzaddikim kedoshim. The giants among giants, the best of the best. Rav Wassim, alav shalom, was one of them. Chafetz Chaim, that everybody says stories. Chafetz Chaim Lashon Hara. Chafetz Chaim organized the minyan with a shofar. They took out the Sefer Torah in the middle of the night. What? To go pray for a Jew to die. No, just to pray for him to die. Just to pray for this person to die. A Jew by the name of Trotsky. Because he saw how much damage he's causing Am Yisrael. And they brought these holy Jews to the Beit Knesset at night. They took out the Sefer Torah, all the Sifrei Torah. They did akafot. And then they go, ooh, like in Rosh Hashanah. For what? For this guy to die. What do you mean? He's a Jew. His mom's a Jew. His father's a Jew. Everybody's a Jew. Yeah, but Hashem he dies. Ooh. Amen. Why? It's better that he dies than continue the way he's living. These are tzaddikim that understood what it means to sin. We have no concept of what it means to sin. We're not even afraid of sinning. It's like you sin, it's like, I messed up. All right, well, I'll try again. I messed up. Next time, I won't drive on Shabbat. Next time. I forgot. You're not supposed to drive on Shabbat. What do you mean? Last week I told you. Yeah, no, but I had to go somewhere. And I thought maybe like to get like chocolate was like pikuach nefesh, because I really was hungry. So I had to go to CVS. I was hungry. It was 12 o'clock in the afternoon. What am I getting? Nothing? I had to get Skittles. I had to get M&Ms. No, I was starving. People make up all this shטויות in their head. So a person needs to know, you tell me, you have, not only you're supposed to do what you learned, you're supposed to do even more than what you learned. Even more. Now this is the best part. Hopefully, I don't know how long we're going, but hopefully we'll try to finish this Mishnah because it's short. It says, don't lust for the table of kings, for your table is greater than theirs. This is one of the biggest problems that we have in our generation, I believe, is that we're constantly... yes. Eventually he died in Mita Meshuna in Mexico. He lost his position in government within weeks, and then he fled to Mexico, and then somebody killed him in the middle of the street like a cat.
And he wasn't related to them. Like today, I
No, Trotsky. You don't know who Trotsky is?
story in the Gemara that the rabbi told his wife, because she was so beautiful.
Right, in the days of Gemara.
He told his daughter,
Can.
it's rather for you to die than she was beautiful, and she wasn't leaving.
I know, I said the story in the shiur last week.
What is the name of that rabbi?
Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa. ואל תתאווה, thank you for the test. ואל תתאווה לשולחנם של מלכים ושולחנך גדול משולחנם. Do not lust for the table of kings, for your table is greater than theirs. What does it mean? Don't be tempted by the powerful, don't be tempted by the rich and famous, by royalty, by Donald Trump, and Bezos, and Bill Gates, and the rich people in your community, and the guys that are donating $1 million for Aliyah, for Parnassah on Yom Kippur. Do not be jealous of them. Don't be tempted by it even. Why? Because your table is much better than theirs. What do you mean, my table? My table is $25 for my IKEA. And one of the legs is like half broken, so I'm not really sure if it's even worth $25 anymore. Their table is zav, like the egel. Zav, my whole thing is gold. How is my table better than theirs? We're talking about the spiritual table. We're talking about what Hashem thinks of you, not what people think of you. The only opinion that matters is Hashem's opinion, not people's opinion. If you continuously think about what other people think of you, you, my friend, are a donkey. You're the donkey. Why? There's a sipur. There's a very famous sipur. Very famous story. Father and the son are with the donkey. Initially, they're both riding the donkey. Then they're thinking, oh, what are people going to say? Two people on one donkey. The father and the son on a donkey. It's no kavod for the father. Son, get off the donkey. So the son gets off the donkey and he's walking and the father stays on the donkey. And they're walking, and the father thinks to himself, yes, what are people going to think? Me, I'm already older and stronger. My son is like a weak little thing. I'm on the donkey and the son's walking. Nah, son, get on the donkey. I'll walk. I'll walk. And I say, father's thinking again. He goes, what are people going to think? Think that we're riding the donkey all the way from this place all the way to there. You know what? Son, get off the donkey. Get off the donkey, son. No, let the donkey free already. They say, well, what are people going to think? They think that we walked this donkey. Donkey didn't want to walk. We wanted to walk. Why is it the donkey's fault that we're walking? Son, let's put the donkey on our back. In the end, the donkey was riding them. Why? Because they cared about other people's opinion. The only opinion that matters is Hashem's opinion. That's the only opinion that matters. When a person looks at the table of other kings, of other people, and he's tempted by it, then he's missing the key, he's missing the equation. He has no idea why he's alive, bichlal. Because he needs to know that for all the Torah and mitzvot, the chesed that he's doing, there's a huge reward waiting for him. Even if a person says, no, Kvod Harav, I want money, I want to win the lotto, I want to win the prize, I want to get the job and get a lot of money, I want to be CEO and get millions because I want to do Kiruv. I want to help homeless people. I want to build a shelter, Gmach. I want to build this, I want to build all these things. The Midrash Shmuel says exactly what I'm going to read to you. It says, even to support people in need, a person should never lust for. Even if you're saying, no, I only want the money because I want to help people. Even that you shouldn't do. You shouldn't want money to go help people. Why? Because even kings, even the people that have the money, are still limited in their ability to help people. But a person who lives according to God's will can justify the sustenance of the entire world. Thus, the table of the righteous is greater than that of royalty. He says, you're thinking that if you get a lot of money, you're going to get a lot of mitzvot because you're going to donate to this, you're going to donate to that. If Hashem wanted you to do all that stuff, He would have given it to you. If He didn't give it to you, that means He doesn't want you to do it. He wants you to do something else. He wants you to give with what you have, not what you're going to have, what you have now. So, yeah, but I want to open a shelter and help these homeless people. He says, listen, buddy, even the people that have a lot of money, even them, they don't feed everybody. They don't feed everybody. They don't have the ability to feed everybody. Nobody's only Hashem. Potech et yadecha u'masbiah lekol chai ratzon. Only Hashem is the one that feeds all of it. You have to use the tools that Hashem gave you. Don't start thinking the equations for Hashem. No. If Hashem gives me more, I'll do more. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't tell Hashem what to do, how to run His business. You do with what you have. Because that thought that if you're going to have more, you're going to do more, is an illusion that the Yetzer Hara planted in your head to justify not doing enough now. So no. Well, it's not even kavod to give $500 a month. After I finish this deal, I'm going to give $5,000. So it's okay. The rabbi can wait. The avrech can wait. The homeless people can wait. They can starve for an extra few months until I close the deal. And then I'm going to give them $5,000. Giving them $500, it's not even going to help them. You start giving the equation of why they don't even need it anymore. But they need a lot of money. They don't need the little money. Because the little money is not going to help them at all. This is the Yetzer Hara. This is the Yetzer Hara convincing you not to do what you're supposed to do. He's convincing you to do fake mitzvot, like illusions. Like the mitzvot that are in the future, that you're not even there yet. Like mitzvot once you have other stuff. Because you're looking at other people's table. You're looking at other people's table. People look for publicity on CNN, CNBC, because they don't realize that they're more significant than the President of the United States. They're more significant than the King of Kings in the world here. They're more significant than everybody here. Why? Because they learn Torah. They fulfill mitzvot. They are the daughters, the sons of Hashem Yitbarach. It doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. You're the best of the best if you fulfill mitzvot. You should never be jealous of a single person on earth. The only thing you're allowed to be jealous of is Torah. Meaning, someone knows more Torah than you, and that's going to cause you, by being jealous, it's going to cause you to study more. Other than that, you're not allowed to be jealous of anything else. But people are jealous of people that they see on TV, people that are getting attention in the media. But that's because that they're not fulfilled. They themselves are not fulfilled. They're not happy. They feel like they're missing something. Even if they have some of the kavod they want, they're still not fulfilled. Because they feel the need to show people that they're successful. Show people that they made something of themselves. This is a disease. This is a spiritual disease that could literally just drive a person crazy throughout their life to constantly try to prove everybody right and wrong and right and wrong and right and wrong. And in reality, you wake up one day, you realize you prove everybody what they wanted except yourself. You live the life for everybody else except for yourself. Your crown is greater than their crown. The crown of the Torah is greater than the crown of a king, the Midrash Shmuel says. Someone asked, a very well-known rabbi in Israel, in the Ethiopian community, Talmid Chacham Madim, somebody special. I watched a few of his shiurim. Mamash, it's like diamonds. Every word that comes out of his mouth, diamond.
Ethiopian?
Yeah, Ethiopian Rabbi Baruch Gizi, or Gazi. He's Mamash Talmid Chacham Tzaddik. And he's very, very good. And he talks dugri, talks like real. And someone asked him, one of the shiurim, said, Kvod Harav, let's face facts. This is the wife of an avrech. She has 12 kids, 13 kids. Her husband barely makes enough money to buy food for the kids for 1 week. Forget about rent and mortgage and all. Forget all that stuff. They live on miracles. One day, every day she has to go walk all the way to all the schools to pick up all the kids because she can't afford $2 to go on a bus. Because she figured if I put $2 on a bus, I can buy food for the kids with the $2. So she'll walk a half hour each way, an hour each way, just to take the kids back and forth from school. Because that's a life. That's a life. This is a miserable person. How can you be happy in such conditions? How can you be happy walking back and forth an hour each day just so you can save $2 on the bus? How can you be happy? Baruch Gizi said something mamash priceless. He says, if let's say I put $10 million in your bank, I put $10 million in your account. You have $10 million right now. Meaning, you have no problem with money. You haven't spent it yet on rims and on houses, and it's $10 million cash. And you need a ride to go somewhere, but you forgot your wallet at home. You don't have the money on you. The 10 million's in the bank. You know it's in the bank, but it's not on you. So now you have to either sit there and do nothing, or you have to walk an hour to get to your destination. Are you upset? He goes, no. Why? Why would I be upset? I'm like, well, you can't afford to get on the bus for $2. He goes, yeah, but I have $10 million in the bank. He goes, yeah, but no, you don't have $2 right now. He goes, who cares about the $2, Kvod Harav? I have $10 million in the bank. He says, exactly. Exactly. Your ears should listen to your mouth. This tzadikah, the wife of the avrech, yes, she can't put the $2 on the bus, but of course she's happy. Why? She knows she has infinity in the bank in Shamayim. So why would she be upset about $2 here? In the bank in Shamayim, she knows she has infinity. She has 12 little tzaddikim, 13 little tzaddikim, with a husband tzaddik. Everybody learns Torah, everybody does mitzvot, everybody does Ritzon Hashem. Why would she ever be upset? Meaning, the poverty, if you're really doing mitzvot for Shem Shamayim, doesn't make you sad. It's difficult, no question asked. It's difficult. Doesn't make anybody sad though. Quite frankly, if you look at the statistics, and I've said it in several times in shiurim, suicide is a rich people's problem. 70% of the suicides happen to rich people. Meaning, rich people decide to kill themselves, not poor people. Statistically speaking. A person that has Torah is as rich as he gets. A person that fulfills the Torah, learns and does what it says, is as rich as it gets. And that's why he should know, she should know, your crown is greater than their crown. You shouldn't be jealous of the woman that's wearing a wig because she looks like she's single still, and you look like not so good according to your own understanding because you're wearing a scarf on your head, you're wearing a hat, and you look like from a different generation. Don't be jealous of the wig. Why? Your schar in Shamayim is infinity. Your schar in Shamayim is infinity. There's no end. Rabbi Yashiv Alav Shalom says in this generation, a woman that puts a real kisui rosh on, it's like Akedat Yitzchak. It's like Yitzchak Avinu. It's like Yitzchak Avinu said to Avraham, cut over here to make sure that I die right away. Make sure that I'm not pasul. Abba, over here, cut over here. Akedat Yitzchak, a woman puts kisui rosh on in this generation, it's like Akedat Yitzchak. Don't be jealous of a woman wearing a wig. Don't be jealous of the woman that shows half of her body. Don't be jealous of immodesty and things that are against the Torah. There's nothing to be jealous of. You should know your payment is in Shamayim. Why? Because your employer is trustworthy to pay you remuneration for your deeds. ונאמן הוא בעל מלאכתך שישלם לך שכר פעולתך. A person has to know, every single Jew has to know what the word Amen means. Amen is an acronym for El Melech Ne'eman. God, the King, that's trustworthy. Trustworthy to what? Trustworthy to deliver reward and punishment. Any Jew that does not believe in reward and punishment is putting himself in a situation where their Judaism is on suspension, no different than a Mechalel Shabbat. Why? Because it's the foundation of our religion. It's the foundation of everything. If you believe that Hashem only rewards and doesn't punish, you, my friend, don't believe in Judaism. You're a Christian. You're some other religion. You're not Judaism. It's not Judaism. You have to believe in punishment. But in today's world, people simply don't want to teach people about punishment to such an extent that one of the people that I know, Talmid Chacham, his son goes to yeshiva, real yeshiva, not like a fake yeshiva where like the girls are walking with mini skirts. Like real yeshiva, serious yeshiva, only boys. He says his 13-year-old son had to rebuke one of his classmates. Yeshiva, serious yeshiva, Haredim. Why is he rebuking his classmate? Because his classmate says, what's the big deal of playing video games on Shabbat? Haredi! We're not talking about modern Orthodox. We're talking about Haredi. What's the problem with playing video games on Shabbat? The little 13-year-old that watches all the shiurim, he's going to watch this right now. Tzaddik. What he says, he goes, you don't know, Mechalel Shabbat, Mot Yumat, Karet. He goes, what's Karet? Because you went to yeshiva, you're 13 years old, for your bar mitzvah. You know Parashat Shavua by heart. What do you mean you don't know what Karet is? He goes, no, what's Karet? He goes, Genom. He goes, what's Genom? He didn't know what Karet is. He didn't know what Genom is. He's in yeshiva. It doesn't get worse than that. You went to the best school and you still don't know anything. Why? Partially the fault of the teachers, partially the fault of the parents, partially the fault of the community, partially our fault today here. If we were really tzaddikim, people in Eretz Yisrael wouldn't do sins. Don't think, no, it's the school. Not just the school. No, it's the parents. No, it's not just the parents. It's you too. It's me. It's all of us. Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh Lazeh. It's all of our fault. That there's a kid that goes to yeshiva and he plays video games on Shabbat because he doesn't think there's anything wrong with it. Baruch Hashem, now he's doing tshuva. Why? Because a 13-year-old kid watched the shiurim. He says, Din karet, genom, scary. You're messing with Hashem. This, Rabotai, is what we need to know. We need to know these things. We need to teach our kids these things. We need to teach the community these things. Because this is the way to get to Gan Eden. Not just in Olam Haba. In this world. In this world you can live Gan Eden. You can live a life where you're completely fulfilled. You're happy with what you have. Because you see that everything you have is a gift. Everything you don't have, it's not missing. No one owes it to you. All the good things that are happening, Baruch Hashem. All the bad things that are happening, Baruch Hashem. Everything, Baruch Hashem. And all the other people that are trying to whet your appetite with their money and their food and their immodesty and all of the other weapons of the Satan against the Torah, you have nothing to be jealous about. You have nothing to even look at, to care about. Why would you care about such things? I'll finish with a story that I've told you once before, but I'll give you a perspective of a person that, to me, it's as good as it gets. It's as good as it gets. Rav Efraim, Shichyeh, when I went to Israel, one of the times we were walking around, and there was unfortunately, even in Yerushalayim, sometimes there's immodest women. But this one was especially immodest. She forgot her clothes at home. There's a house, and then there's her, and the house had the clothes. She was pretty much trying to wear nothing. Like mamash, like one of those people that you think like they just came out of the shower. Shem Hashem. Nobody didn't look. Everybody looked. The women looked. Everybody looked. This is a woman, Shem Hashem. It's like this, one of these shorts that's like underwear. Shem Hashem, these such people. They have no problem with it. She wants the people to look. Looking. Ah, look at me, look at me. She wants people to look. That's why she's wearing this. So, Baruch Hashem, I did my best not to look or anything, but I was looking at Rav Efraim. And him, it wasn't like he didn't face it. We just continued the conversation. We're talking Torah, Baruch Hashem. Where it says if two people are walking and they don't talk Torah, it's better that a fire burns both of them. You can't just walk around, do nothing, talk about baseball and football. You can't. Two people walking around, you have to learn Torah. You can't just walk around and do nothing. Oh, let's talk about the Donald Trump. Why? Want me to get burnt? Are you insane? So we're learning Torah. So it bothered me though. I didn't understand. Like everybody else reacted except him. Like some people saying no, some people saying yes. Everybody did something. Him, nothing. Nothing. Like nothing happened. Like it wasn't there. Like he didn't see it. But I saw it. It was right in front of us. I saw it. Everybody saw it. The blind people saw it. They saw, whoa, what happened? Him, nothing. So it bothered me. I have to learn from my Rav. I have to learn. Lamdeni, no, teach me. Like, what's going on? What, Yetzirah died? Ask him for the Rav. Doesn't bother you? Nothing? Because what? So the thing that happened, the woman, he goes, why would it? I'm not trying to be like appropriate, but at the same time, like I'm trying to explain, like I'm a little uncomfortable. Like, what do you mean? This used to be our goal in life. Now you're telling me that, like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm new here. I'm still new in this thing. And he's like, not giving me full answers. And I said, no, but Kvodarav, it's the girl, the clothes. He looks at me with the look you don't want to get. He says, why would I want to look? Doesn't everybody see? Doesn't everybody see she's on fire? What's there to look at? Meaning to him, she's already burning in Gehenom in his eyes. Her skin's being peeled off from her legs and her arms. His eyes see that. My eyes, Shem Echem, I just can't look. He says, why? What's to see? What does everybody else? Why would you look at such a thing? She's being burned. What's to look? Why would you want to look at such a thing? Meaning it's so repulsive to him, it's like she's being burnt. Like, what's the look? Why would you want to look at such a thing? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. There's blood everywhere. There's fire. You understand? When a person only looks at the words of the Gemara, the Shulchan Aruch, the Poskim, the Chumashim, the Tanachim, all the Kedusha, all day, all night, what's there to look at as someone that's a sinner against Hashem? What's there to look at? What's there to look at? People don't understand what it means. People don't understand what it means to stick to Hashem. I'll tell you a story. I hope Rabbi Mizrachi, Sheikhia, doesn't get upset at me. But this, you have to see Sipurei Tzadikim. You hear these stories sometimes, you don't realize who you're standing next to until you hear these stories about them. Now, most of the stories with Rav Efraim that I'm telling you, I saw with my own eyes. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. But I spent a lot of time with Rav Efraim. I didn't spend as much time with Rav Mizrachi, but I talked to him, Baruch Hashem, for years now, all the time. We work together all the time with different things, but anytime I find another chidush about his life, for me, it's like $1 million. But people don't understand. They don't understand what it means to dedicate a quarter of a century to Am Yisrael. They don't understand what it means. They think he just comes and you talk to a few people, and it's fun, and people say Chazaku Baruch, and maybe a few people give you $20, and one guy gives you 100, and then you go home and like, oh, thank you, and your life is normal like everybody else, and you go and you eat, and you have that's what people think. People think you have a normal life. The last thing you have is normal. When you do Kiruv for Am Yisrael, there's nothing normal about your life. When you send a text message to a rabbi 3:30 in the morning and he answers, it's not because you woke him up. It's because he doesn't sleep. It's not because he has nothing to do. It's because he has too much to do. But you see, before I started doing Kiruv myself, as far as speaking, I was doing Kiruv differently. I was giving people books and CDs and packages. I was publicizing Rav Efraim shiurim on the internet. And I used to listen to 3, 4, 5 lectures of Rabbi Mizrachi every day. Oh, it's like clockwork. It was always on. It was always nothing. I was constantly writing notes, constantly learning. Rabbi Mizrachi, Rav Efraim. It was nonstop. But I never really appreciated him as much as I did after I started speaking to people. And most people that listened to him, and they said, no, I'm his biggest fan. Oh, I love him. Oh, I listen to all of his shurim. Trust me when I tell you, you have no idea who you're dealing with. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Because what you see is like a movie. It's like an illusion. It's like you think you know the celebrity because you saw him in a movie, and maybe you saw him at a restaurant. You said hello, and he gave you an autograph. The stories that nobody hears are the stories of their life. And mamash, rabotai, I heard this story. To me, this is just gives you a little bit of a small perspective. I mean, everybody knows what happened after the whole balagan that happened with the Holocaust, comments that were mistranslated and manipulated. He didn't care about the fact that he was right. He cared about the fact that people thought he was wrong. Where he went to the Holocaust survivor, kissed his hand. No matter that people are taping it, it's going to go all over the internet. You're taping some old man, you're kissing his hand. Who is he, Bichlal? What do you mean? It's a Yehudi Kadosh. He's a holy Jew. I don't want him to be offended. Yeah, but he doesn't know you. Doesn't make a difference. Meaning the significance of how you view every Jew, you look at them as like, mamash, this is the most prized thing in the world. So when I was in Canada, after one of the shiurim, we stuck around for a little while talking questions and answers, private stuff with some people. And then a group of people stuck around and were talking. And Rabbi Mizrachi came up, and he told me a story I never heard. He told me a story that nobody ever heard. Probably his family, maybe, people that were there. Aside from that, nobody else. Why? Because I heard a lot of his shurim. It's not on the shurim. This is one of those stories that if I don't say it, you're never going to know it. But I have to say it. I have to say it. Why? You have to understand who you're dealing with. The kavod for Chachamim is so important that people treat him like he's some regular rabbi, like he's some local Chabad rabbi, or Breslov rabbi, or Orthodox, modern Orthodox rabbi that just comes to shul, prays with you a few times, give you a 2-minute shul between Mincha and Arvit, and Chazak u'Baruch. I'll see you on Shabbos. People think this is a regular person. A few years ago, I think it was the first time maybe he was invited over there, Hashem gave him a test. I know for sure. I'm not telling you I don't want. I know for sure I would have failed miserably. Like I'm telling you now. Already, I failed. I failed the test. Even in imagination, I failed. Not even in my imagination, I passed. You know, in imagination, you're like Superman. You're like Superman in imagination. I'm telling you, I failed. So he went to Montreal. He had a big Shabbaton set up. Big Shabbaton. Lots of people were supposed to come. But Hashem wanted to give him a test. What a test. Literally like a day or so before he came, some lefty liberal Rasha Merusha went to the media and said, we have a new report. What's new report? Religious extremism coming to Canada. What? So they highlight 5 people. 4 Muslims that are on a terror watch list, and Rabbi Mizrachi. One of the biggest tzaddikim in our generation is being put next to murderers, rapists, killers. He's on the same network. Now the fools over there, they didn't know who Rabbi Mizrachi is because some people just are like living under a rock for the last 25 years. So they say, oh, no, he's here already? Oh, no, we're not going to have the Shabbaton. What do you mean not going to have the Shabbaton? He's here, there's hundreds of people waiting. There's a bunch of people waiting. They want to come. No, we can't. It's a shul. It's to this. We can't. We don't want the media to come. What media to come? It's Shabbat. No one media is coming to you. No, we don't want the attention. I don't know. He's already over there. Everything is already set up. The CDs are there. He's there. People are there. People are ready. The Knesset does not want to even rent them the place. Now I'm telling you personally, at that moment, I said, you don't want me? No problem. The plane is right behind. See ya! See ya! Thank you. What do I care? You don't want to have me? No, thank you. Well, who's losing out, me or you? I have information you need. You don't like it? See you. What's the problem? That's the mentality of a fool like me. Why? Because what did he do? He's saying there are Jews here that need information to do tshuva. What difference does it make if there's a shul or not? Find me a floor, and I'll lecture on the floor with everybody. I'll sit on the floor with everybody. The whole Shabbat, they're sitting on the floor in the kitchen of this guy that told me the story was his kitchen. It's not like a third-hand story. The guy's kitchen, he's telling me the story was we were all on the floor. There was no place to move. Everybody's sitting on the floor. Rabbi Mizrachi's with us on the floor. We're learning the whole Shabbat. Everybody did tshuva. The walls did tshuva. The kitchen did tshuva. Now he has a bigger house, Baruch Hashem. Why? You care about Am Yisrael. You care about Torah. You don't care about, no kavod. They're not giving me the respect I deserve. I'm already in this 20 years. What kavod? What kavod? Nobody owes me anything. I have a merit to go help some people do tshuva. Baruch Hashem. What kavod? Who wants kavod? Why would I ever want kavod? You guys think, you see in elections, he says, no, don't be a gaftan, don't be be humble. And you think, no, he's just saying it. Rabotay Karim, you can't just say it. It's either you live it, or you don't. The average person that literally just graduated rabbinical school, 24 years old, with still a little bit of needs the tissue to constantly follow him to clean his nose. He still doesn't know how to clean his own nose yet. He goes to a place, if they don't pay him at least $1,000 to speak, he's not coming. Nobody speaks for free. If you're not paying him $1,000, he's not coming. If you're a speaker for 20 years, minimum is $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Depends how big and what type of speaker you are. Some speakers get hundreds of thousands, but the worst speaker in the world, the guy that just started last week, he gets $1,000 for an hour. Plane ticket, Hotel, 5 stars, meals, this. By the time he left on the weekend, you spend at least 10 grand for the worst guy. You're going there for free. And on top of it, they embarrass you by canceling an event and not even allowing you to rent a place. Forget it if you don't want. Okay, I'll rent it. We'll enter from the back so no one sees us. No, we want no association. Okay, we have no association. No one else wants association. No one else wants to do anything else. Do we have a floor? Do we have 4 walls? Okay, that's enough. But what about the kavod? What kavod? Who said I need kavod? Who said I need kavod to do kiruv? All I need is Jews. Kavod? Hopefully I don't get it. That's what the tzaddik says. You watch lectures like, oh yeah, he's nice. I like the way he talks. Well, I like the way he talks. People have no idea what you're dealing with. Baruch Hashem, we had the merit to have such a tzaddik in our generation. And I know, hopefully he doesn't get upset at me for telling people about his sipurei tzaddikim. But people need to know who you're dealing with. You watch in shiurim of someone that sacrificed a quarter of a century of his life. You have no right to ask any questions that, what does he think of this? But maybe he made a mistake of this. People have sacrificed their life for Am Yisrael to do something that most people can't do. They deserve much more than what they're getting. His wife, I wish I have the olam haba of her shoes. Just if I get the olam haba, just wear her shoes, I'll be fine. Someone sacrifices, a woman sacrifices a husband for 25 years. Doesn't get better than that. This is what we have to understand. There are some people that are popular. There are some people that are very charismatic when they speak. But when the words come out of their mouth, it's all nonsense. It's all shtuyot. Why? Because they like the bank a lot more than they like the people. But when you have somebody that's been giving the truth to Am Yisrael, the uncensored truth for 25 years, it's time we understand what it means. It's time we understand how to honor these people, how to give the kavod for their Torah, for their mesirut nefesh. This is not a regular rabbi. These are not regular people. These are people that are sacrificing themselves for nothing, for free. For free. Baruch Hashem provides. But the point is, Rabotai, is that you need to know that when you're learning Torah from one person that just got paid $10,000 to come, and another person that's not getting paid, it's a different type of Torah. It's a different type of Torah. One person tells you the truth, the other one tells you what you want to hear. It's a different Torah altogether. It's a different religion. It's a different religion. So here we see that even if you got to the level of Rabbi Mizrachi, you're still not allowed to ask for Gedulah. You're still not allowed to chmod kavod. You still have to do yoter milimudecha. You still have to constantly do tshuva. So if somebody like this has to do tshuva, what about us? What about us? This, Rabotai, is the end of the Mishnah here. I mean, we continue talking about it for the next 20 years, but I think you got the point, B'ezrat Hashem. Tomorrow there's no shiur, but we will continue next Sunday night, B'ezrat Hashem, at Sunny Isles. And then next week, of course, over here again. And next Wednesday, we'll be back to the regular weekly schedule on Wednesdays. Any questions? Kid.
Something about Genom. He said this guy's going to be in hell, or is that guy going to be in hell? Isn't every tzaddikim going to hell? Hell is not the cleaners. Or she said something about who's going to hell. Like, yesh tzaddik shaloi, every tzaddik does the sin, and everybody should go to. That's why I heard that you go to hell to get clean.
Yeah, well, I prefer to not get cleaned.
What, is there anybody that doesn't go to hell?
Of course. I mean, listen. You're not supposed. It's not something that you're supposed to aspire to go. But also, there's different types of hell. There's different types of Gehenom. There's 7 medorot. There's 7 levels of hell. 7 levels of Gehenom. And even within those levels, there's different types of places within them. Different types of judgment. Different length of statement. So it's not, everybody goes to the same place. No, there's one that is going to perfect his neshama. He's going to go there for a day, or a week, or a month. And there's a guy that's going to the 7th place of Gehenom that doesn't end. Meaning even after Mashiach comes, everybody else is coming back from the dead, he's still getting burned in Gehenom. So you can't compare the two. So whether everybody has to get cleaned or not, alvai we don't. We're always aspiring to become tzaddikim. But what ends up happening with us, only Hashem knows. What we are trying to do is we're trying to do as many mitzvot as possible, either directly or indirectly, meaning either we're doing it ourselves or we're helping other people to do it, to at least clean us of all the sins that we have. B'ezrat Hashem, not to go to Gehinnom at all. And but either way, we have to do the best we possibly can and stay away from sins. So it's true that many people have to go to some level of Gehinnom as far as to perfect their neshama, but it's not the same type of Gehinnom that I'm referring to. When I say this guy's going to Gehinnom, I'm referring to the people that are going to a place that doesn't end. Kafakela, no. Kafakela is not Gehinnom. Kafakela is a... Kafakela? Kafakela. That's what you say. Yeah, you could say endless space, where the malachim fling the person from one end of the galaxy to the end while they whip him, but that's not Gehinnom. It's a different thing, or different shiur. Next. Okay, last thing is, Rabotai, we have, Baruch Hashem, I announced earlier today, anyone that saw the 15-minute little breaking news, I announced today that we have the new CDs. I'm not going to go into it too much, but this is the new Pirkei Avot MUSSAR series. We have a bunch of CDs, anybody that wants. We have CDs, Baruch Hashem. Each one of these boxes is 50 CDs, 25 packages, 25 doubles. Baruch Hashem, this MUSSAR series has been already 2 years in the making. A lot of Torah. I think is going to have even more success than the Wall Street to the Western Wall series, B'ezrat Hashem. So we have some CDs for anybody that wants. We also have the Asher Yatzar, the new ones. New ones meaning that it's the same blessing, just that it has both the Ashkenazi and the Sephardi Nusach. So there has the old one only had the Sephardi version, but this one has both Sephardi and Ashkenazi. And also for anyone that's going to be doing some Kiruv and wants a Kiruv bag, you have a cool looking Kiruv bag, Baruch Hashem. So this, and also we continue having the business cards for anyone that wants the for the app. But that's it, Rabotai. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.